Welcome back, guys, to Sharpen Your Sword Podcast, episode 27, Unfiltered today. Today, I'm here with Ben Wynn. I'm here with the number one co-host in the world, Giovanni Jimenez. And guys, it's been a while since I've had the man on, the legend, the myth, the podcast engineer, Nate Milliken, with Milliken Creative. So he's the man behind the show, guys. He's the one that set up this whole podcast that you see right now. He set up the cameras. He's the one that does everything, the editing, the reels on my Instagram, all the reels that I put out. This all from Nate Milliken with Milliken Creative. So if you guys need any work done, he's the man with the plan. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Hey.
Guys, on today's episode, we are going to go unfiltered. So episode 27 is episode 27 Unfiltered. Like always, thanks for the shares, the subscribes. You guys help us out a lot. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about random topics that are going on around the world, some controversial, some political, something that might hurt somebody's feelings. It doesn't matter. We're going to give our thoughts on it. And I have the guys here to help me talk about these different topics. We have a lot of topics, guys, and we're going to try not to spend so much time on each one of them. So we will be moving. And like always, this is our thoughts, okay? We are going to be genuine with you, and we're going to give you what we think. You don't have to agree, okay? You don't have to disagree. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't have to hate it, okay? This is just me speaking, and if I say something that you don't like, that doesn't mean you got to get your panties in a wad, okay? So just enjoy the show, and anything that comes up to your mind, write it down and ask us for the next episode that we do like this. We try to do at least once a month to keep it engaged and keep it fun. We ready to get off there, guys?
Yes, sir. Bring it, bro. What you got?
So let's just go ahead and dive deep into what I think has the world by the balls, has the United States. I think it's the root of evil, if you ask me. It's the root of evil in the United States. It's why United States is not what it used to be. And I think this is the reason why we are separated more than ever. And a lot of us hate each other more than ever these days. And it's because of politics. Okay. And we can go deep down this rabbit hole today, and we will. But let's go ahead and start with that. What do you guys think about the whole thing going on right now?
Like what? Like the
Trump,
election?
Kamala election, attempted assassination.
The second attempt.
The second attempt assassination. The move your big head out of the camera.
Unfiltered.
The attempted assassination, second time. Which, if you want me to get me started, bro, 2 attempts. Come on. First one, okay, it's real attempt assassination. Now the second time they mess up again.
Third time the charm, I guess.
But it's like the attempted assassinations, and then Kamala not being American, being Indian, whatever she is, and she's this, insider, this whatever it is that's going on. What do you guys think about the whole election process right now that we are facing in 2024, when we have 2 clowns, if you ask me, and we claim to be arguably the greatest country in the world, okay? Which in one aspect we are. I was talking to Gio about this the other day. And in one aspect we are. We live in the land of opportunity. So a lot of immigrants can witness this firsthand, right? My dad came here, nothing, right? Made a living for his family. So a lot of people, Americans that are born here, don't get to witness that because they have generational wealth or inheritance or whatever it is. So a lot of people don't get to really truly take that in. Okay, so we are, in one aspect, the greatest country in the world. But when it comes to the other side, when the system is rigged, the politicians are corrupt, and they only care about filling their pockets, and they don't care about the people, and they got the people separated, they got the people at each other's necks, at each other's throats, and it's all for somebody to have a position, to have a seat. Everybody that's on the right heads to the left, everybody on the left hates the right. There is no in between these days. People try to say, well, I like him because of his values. No, you like him because he's Republican. He's red. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that's the biggest problem with this country right now in politics is that people, they choose a side and then they just run with the side. They don't necessarily have their own opinion, Like most people, if you listen to them, they're like, okay, this guy watches Fox. This guy watches ABC. This guy watches CNN. You know? And the problem is nobody thinks. So they just go with headlines. Or, matter of fact, most people, as much politics they read is like a headline.
Yeah.
You know? But I do think Kamala is getting pushed hard because she's got a lot of money behind her. And then if you think about it, if you only read headlines, you're like, man, I guess she already won. Like, they're conditioning you to think she already won.
Yeah.
That's just how powerful money is in this country. But I mean, I think, like we said it before, I think there's people behind the show running things. And Kamala and Trump, they can only do so much. Like, some things they can touch, and then other things is like, okay, bro, you can't touch this. This is set in stone. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll make miniature difference who's in office. Kamala's saying she's gonna give you like $25K to put to your first house. So
really,
if they actually do it, though.
They do it, right?
I was listening to JRE on the way in, and it got me a little frustrated because they're only saying exactly what they need to say to get the vote and to get in. And it's what are they going to do after they get in?
Yeah.
Are they going to hold up to the policies and all the things that they're saying, or is it just? I mean, we've seen it on both sides, Republican side and the Democratic side. They get in office and nothing seems to change at all. So that's the most frustrating part to me.
What you said right there is key point. They say what they're going to say, because we talked about this yesterday. They want the voters to hear I'm going to vote for them because that's what I want. They know that. They're not dumb. They've already done you know how many people are in place just to figure out what people want? It's so much, okay? So, and people need to understand that when a president goes into office, nothing changes. Like, the truth is, very rare big changes happen in that term. You see the outcome later on. And just like Trump, people want to forget this, right? People are, what do they call it? Whatchamacallit? Bidenomics, right? And they're putting inflation on Biden and stuff like that. You ask me, I don't give a damn about Biden, right? Because of the Palestine war and everything. I care less for that president. He's a piece of shit to me, right? He didn't help the economy. Ben, try to keep your head to the left. He didn't help the economy, okay? He didn't help the economy. He arguably made it worse, okay? He's corrupted it even more. So many things you can say, okay? But people forget inflation started from Trump. People keep forgetting that. Like, that's an example of how small the mind of the American people is when it comes to politics. Trump is the one that gave all the money out. All the money that he gave out, all the checks, the incentive that people forgot. People are complaining about people not working. Who was in office when they handed that incentive out? Trump, the number one businessman, the best president for business. He was the one in office. He's the one that pushed him to stay at home. He's the one that paid him to stay at home. He's the one that gave the stimulus checks. He's the one that gave the loans. He's the one that gave all the money out. Now, like I said, the next term ate the shit afterwards. Okay? They also forget, they keep talking about the vaccines and the coronavirus and all that. Who's the one that implemented it? Who was in office when the vaccines happened, when the shutdown happened, when they pushed it? It was Trump. So it's like, for you ask me, I want Trump in office for the business. That's it. But arguably, is he going to help the business? Money is on faith. And these big companies, these big multi-billionaires are mostly conservative. And so what happens is, when a Democrat is in office, they hold the money. And all I think to myself is like, bro, you're killing the economy by doing that. It doesn't matter who's in office, run your business. It doesn't have to be a Republican in office for me to spend money and hire people and grow my company. But people are based on red and blue, Democrat and Republican, which puts the country in a shithole. But again, people forget, like, the minds of the American people when it comes to politics is this big. I don't care what you say. If you're Republican, you're going to vote Republican no matter what. If you're Democrat, you're going to vote Democrat no matter what. It's a small number of people that will blend. Very small number of people. But don't forget, Trump is part of the biggest reason why we have inflation at the level we have it now. Trump is the reason vaccines were forced. Trump is the reason why shutdowns happened and all that bullshit happened. It was Trump. It was not Biden. It was Trump in office at the time.
I think, well, my argument about that topic with yours is like, it's hard for a person who just got shat on with COVID-19, right? Like, on his last year of term, right? You look by all the 3 years that he done that improve our economy, but then when COVID hit, like it's hard to blame a guy to like try his best to like help people, because what would you do in his position, right? As a president, like, my people are suffering. They can't go to work and they won't be able to make money to pay for these things, right? Because of this pandemic. So what would be your different approach of like handling COVID-19? Because I feel like it sucks that COVID-19 happened when his end of his term, when it just all went to shit, right, with the economy. So
is it a coincidence?
Well, I don't know, right? It's you treading on gray lines there, because we don't know what is true or not, right?
Of course you don't. But is it a coincidence, right? And I don't mean to cut you off, because this is the point of this. Unfiltered, right? So is it a coincidence? Because we were traveling to Orlando and I had a talk with somebody. I don't know if you heard the conversation. I'm not gonna say her name, but I had a conversation with this person. And I told him, I said, is it a coincidence that Trump won and everybody was Trump, and he loses a second term to a crackhead? Is it a coincidence? But why? Think of it. Yeah. So think of it this way. Trump, the guy that fixed the economy, the guy that's the American hero, the one that's going to make America great again, right, loses his second term. Okay? But is it a coincidence that he loses his second term and the country's economy goes to shit? People want to say that we're not in a recession. We're in a damn recession. We're in a damn Great Depression at this point. People don't got money. 7 out of 10 houses live paycheck to paycheck. People don't have money. People can't afford food. People can't afford groceries. They can't take their kids on field trips. They can't give them a good lunchbox. Okay? But it's a coincidence, because you go to high school and get just an economics class, a one-on-one, economics 101 in high school. You know that if you just print money, what the outcome is going to be. You're going to tell me a multi-billionaire doesn't know what the outcome of printing checks and paying people is going to outcome is, and his office and everybody around him, they don't know what the outcome was? Hell yeah, they knew the outcome. But here's what I told them. I said, if Trump went into office a second term, it would have solidified the fact that he didn't do shit. Because he would have been in term right now and the economy wouldn't be fixed. There's no way to fix the economy in one term after what they did with COVID. It's not possible to do it in 4 years. With the amount of money that they gave out,
I mean,
it's not possible to do it in 4 years.
Biden administration also give out money with like debt relief and stuff. Where
okay,
do they get that money from?
Again, that doesn't help. That doesn't help.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you're saying like,
what I'm saying is, if he went into office, it would have fell on Trump. And so this is what I think is going to happen. Trump comes back and possibly wins, and he's going to be the American hero that fixes the economy. Okay? But if he went into office again 2 times back to back, there wouldn't be no way that he's an American hero. You can't fix it in the second term.
Well, and you know, my conspiracy brain is, why didn't they just let him win? You know, if this stuff is rigged and there's people behind the curtain really doing it, they should have let him win his second term, and then the Trump era would be over with by now. Then we'd be talking about somebody else. But they made him lose that second one, and now we got maybe 4 more years of Trump. And I also was thinking, while you guys were talking, I don't know, I'm not politically smart, so some of this stuff I can't really speak on. But I know that Republicans want to close the border, and Democrats want to, I don't want to say open border, but like more lenient. And they let illegal immigrants in, and they give them all these programs, cell phones and all that stuff. That money comes from somewhere, and it comes from the people that go to work every day and pay taxes. So that's the frustrating part for me, because at the end of the day, I don't want a nuclear war. I think everybody's in agreement on that. I just want my pocketbook to feel better. It's whatever you can do. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican president. If you could just make life easier for us all, I'm fine with it.
I agree, but the country, I agree 100%. If it was to go back to the old days, and it's for the people, right? For the people.
When's the last time we had a president that like everybody was proud?
Nobody.
I mean, your Ronald Reagans or your JFKs or like people that were presidential. Now it's like Looney Tunes that we have to choose from.
But if you notice a trend, I was reading this book. It's called Leaders Eat Last, right? and it was after the Kennedy era, right? This kind of went to. I mean, I'm sure it was a long-term process, but after that, it kind of went to shit. It went to completely separating the people. And I tell people at the end of the day, like I hear Republicans and Democrats, they hate each other, right? And I'm like, bro, regardless, that's the president of the United States of America. Whether he's red or blue, you need to respect the president. That's the way I look at it. That's the president. You respect the president. Whether say you're a Democrat, say you're liberal, say you're Republican. I can't hate you. You're American. We're the same people. We believe different. But they, whoever you want to put as they made us hate each other. And this is my problem. People want to say this is a conspiracy or I'm going down this rabbit hole. No, they made us hate each other because as long as we hate each other and we're fighting each other, they are doing whatever they want. How come they're getting rich as shit while the economy is bad?
Yeah.
You tell me that. How come they've already placed bids on oil? They've already placed bids on firearms. They placed places on all these stock companies before the shit starts. How do they know?
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence?
Yeah, you got Congress people that make $150,000 a year base salary, but they invest in the stock market better than Warren Buffett and any of those guys.
How do they know?
Yeah, well, they do know.
It's against
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we would call fraud. If
It's
anybody
against
else
the laws
did that,
to do that in the first place. If they get caught, they'll get in huge trouble. By the way,
yeah. But I mean, like I said, you got Nancy Pelosi does better in the stock market than Warren
I think
Buffett.
it's just they pass policies, man. That's what it is. That's why.
But they pass policy knowing what the outcome is. That's my point.
to help themselves.
I know.
yeah.
But it's throughout history, guys.
Yeah.
You act like this is like brand new. You know what I mean?
No.
It's just.
I agree.
No, it's throughout history, but now it's a big difference.
That's why I was asking when's the last time.
So, because when you were doing this introduction, I was actually thinking about it, dude. This been happening for like years, and then maybe this is just on a bigger spectrum. Yeah, scale because of the social media influence we have now. You know what I mean? Back then, it's like you don't have that social media exposure to things like this, like the news and stuff, right? So people are easy to get away with. But now that social media have so much influence, people are feeding us BS to get us distracted from the real problem.
And it's so hard
with all the policies.
It's so hard to know what to believe. And like Gio said earlier, people just read the headlines. They see the headlines and they're like, oh, Trump's this or Kamala's that. And it's like nobody reads deeper than the surface anymore. And that's also what's keeping us divided. Also, the social media, you can dig up dirt on people like you never could before. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can hear that, by the way.
Can you?
Yeah, I keep turning you down.
That's why I took the headset off.
I didn't want it to show up on the recording.
That's messed up. But I think all of this, it goes back to the fact that there's something wrong with the country. We have problems, and I think like the Republicans, they say they don't want immigrants, but in a way they do want immigrants because they want to give you somebody to hate. You want to keep you. Hey, look at these motherfuckers, bro.
You need an enemy. You always need an enemy.
They need an enemy, right? And the Republicans hit you with the Democrats hit the Republicans with, look, they're homophobic, they're racist, right? They all need their attacks, and the Republicans, okay, yeah, let's let these Democrats, let's let them bring these immigrants in, and then okay, now let's start the juices going. Let's get your hate going, right? They always give you somebody to hate, but I mean. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these immigrants, they come in here and they work harder than some American citizens. Like you said, we've seen immigrants work in the rain. But now they're saying that Venezuela, they're sending prisoners here.
Yeah.
Right? Now that is wrong. That is messed up. What, like Scarface, Cuba sent prisoners?
Yeah.
That's where the dude came from. I think that is wrong. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is the country is broken. It has problems. Mm-hmm. But all of this has happened throughout history. Like Ben was bringing it up, like, oh, this has always been happening. It is always been happening. But unfortunately, like, now it's our time that it's happening to us.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with you guys, okay? Here's the thing about, I'm not disagreeing. Like, history repeats itself, is what I tell people. History repeats itself, okay? They always need to, quit doing that. You making too much racket today.
What?
You're shaking the table.
I'm not even touching the table.
I hear a squeaking
Thanks,
noise.
this chair.
I hear a squeaking
Thanks,
noise.
this chair.
All right. I don't disagree with you guys, okay? But they're using it at the generation that we are in now, the state of the society that we are in now, degeneracy, no morals, no character, no values, no beliefs. I think this was created to get us to this point so they can do what they've been doing at a big scale to get way more out of it. They've always been doing this, but people have been awake. People have been aware. Who's awake these days? Who do you know that's awake? Who do you know that's mentally healthy? And if you have bad mental health, guys, seek help. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But who do you know that has good mental health, that's in a good state of mind, that's aware of what's going on? Very rare.
What are your definition of like good mental health? Like it
I guess
sounds
like,
very subjective.
Like you don't want to kill yourself. You know this poor bastard I saw online. He called the suicide hotline 9 times. I'm like, if you call it 9 times, you really don't want to kill yourself. But it's messed up, you know.
Poor bastard.
But he didn't kill himself, so.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right? You got kids that are claiming to be the opposite sex. You have kids that are claiming to be animals these days. You didn't see this shit back in the day. If you did, it was rare. Okay,
No.
you got people walking in the streets naked, and it's normal.
Well,
It's not frowned upon.
I think
We've normalized it.
yeah,
We've made it okay.
yeah. So I think it's like, dude, back then we had kings being gay.
But you don't understand what I'm saying. I get what you're saying. All this is to a certain extent has been happening. Yes, you got people that do that kind of stuff,
They just
right?
want to be normal.
No, it ain't no being normal, cuz. But what I'm saying is, it's normalized. Like, and who normalized it? Who pushed it? You got to look at where
The
it originally
people.
came from. No, not the people.
It's social.
No, it's not.
Our social.
Can you give a little
our
background on the
society.
feminists? Remember the story with the feminists that you told me about?
Yeah. So feminism.
This is interesting right here.
So a lot of it. So pretty much, feminism was created because the elite people, right? They look at us like we're ants, and so they're like, holy crap, these peasants are breeding a lot. Now they have we have a lot of peasants in the world, right? That's how they look at us. So they created feminism because if you empower a woman to want to be like a man and to pursue education instead of pursuing being a mother, right? These women have less kids. And because they're focused on the career, and by the time they flourish in their career, they're in their 40s and they can't have kids. So they do this so that women can have less kids. And they push this upon women, the feminism movement, to try to be equal to a man.
So feminist is like an implant.
It is like it was like a ploy. Like, okay, the more feminists there are, the less kids they'll have.
I mean, that's funny.
And people now are waking up to it and realizing that was all bullshit.
Well, I mean, no. I think how I see it, that's pretty extreme. I don't know if it's true or not, but
I mean, bro, there's studies on that now.
is it?
Yes, bro.
I'd love to read that.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's say it is true. I'm not saying he's wrong. By the way, I'm just saying that's an interesting story that it is like that they push feminists like that. But then again, feminist argument is just it doesn't progress because from what I read and talking to people, it doesn't get far from the ideology of being a feminist. It doesn't get far. Right?
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. What can I say? It's like, how women, the idea of being a feminist is like, what is it? How being independent as a woman, right? And then now women are realizing, man, this is probably not the life that they want. So it can only get so far. Like the whole purpose of being a feminist is to get equal rights with men, right? But now they're realizing that now, they are getting voting rights, right? And then they are starting to like equalizing the level of becoming equally as men. And they're like, okay, there's no point of being a feminist now. We have the same rights as men, same pay grade and et cetera. So.
But the thing is, like, the feminists, they want to, yes, they want to do that, right? But think about it, they want to compete with men. So think about it, like,
I feel like that's like the extremist.
no, they want to, they want to compete with men, right? They do it because they want to like be, like, let's say, like you're in a job, right? You're running a store, These feminists like, I can run a store better than you. So now she's focusing on her life, and by the time she gets like, she flourishes like in the industry, she's 40 something, and she's like, damn, like my cats and dogs are not making me happy. I want a kid.
Well, it's also feminism. People think like it's just that. Like it's also not taking the orders from a man, right? Like that sounds bad in today's time. But like being submissive toward your husband or your boyfriend, okay? And these days, it's looked at as toxic if you are submissive to your. Now, not everybody, right? Old school in the South and small towns, you still find this, but for the majority, ain't no man gonna tell me what to wear. Right, I saw a video, and it was back in the day, and it was like a guy did an interview with a husband and a wife, and he looked at the lady, and he's like, "Who's the boss of the house?" And she said, "What do you mean? Who's the one that runs the house? Who's the boss? Who's the boss of the house?" "That's my husband." That's what she said. "Whatever he says, I do." And he asked her, "Where you're from?" They're from Greek background, and then they had a video next to it. There's two girls, you know, the interviews that everybody does these days. Mm-hmm. And there's two girls next to him in modern day. And she's like, "I'm going to leave his ass. I'm going to dump his ass. Ain't no man going to tell me what to wear, how to dress, and where to go."
Just culture difference, I guess.
There ain't no culture difference, bro. That was an agenda that's pushed to keep the formation of a traditional family, of a healthy family. Right? Some people on here are going to be like, "What the hell are you talking about? This ain't right." But that's the truth.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you can see it in predominantly black families, right? They like, you can see most
tread carefully.
Nah, I mean, it's true. Like you see it, right? It's out there, right? It's like, which race, I wouldn't even say, what is it? African American family and household is like the highest ratio of like single mother.
Yeah, I think like 70%.
Yeah, so it's like, it's ridiculous. And then look at the family, right? It's like broken, the culture there, you know, compared to back in the 60s, right? So it is proof that it's like, if you don't have a healthy relationship between like the mother and the father, then the family, the morals and the tradition values is not there.
I just recently heard something about somebody, Jordan Peterson maybe said it, about equal pay between men and women. And he was saying if that was true and women do get paid less than men, then why wouldn't corporations just fire all the men and have all women and just pay them less if it really was like that?
Yeah.
And I thought
I saw that video too.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't really think about it that way. I just think that they look at the ratios of men between all jobs, like bricklayers, construction workers, and all that, and there's not a lot of women in those areas.
Yeah.
So that skews the numbers and makes it look like women get paid less.
Yeah.
I've worked in a corporate setting most of my adult life, and pretty much all the women I worked around made more money than me. Like it was never a thing for me.
I mean, there's so much factors that they don't want to talk about that contribute to your pay, like how many hours you work, you know, the labor you do, you know, and women also tends to agree to the first offer they receive, right? Because like my brother said, he got lowballed plenty of time when he was working with corporate, right? And then until he finally realized his self-worth, he demanded more, and they gave it to him. And women are just, you know, more submissive, or like not submissive, but like timid to ask for more.
Confrontational.
Yeah.
That is true.
Speaking on this, guys, is economic inequality and wealth tax. So what do you guys think about this? Like, there's obviously a big gap between the rich and the poor, or the rich and the. I don't think there's a middle class necessarily anymore as much if you talk about the country as a whole, right? I don't believe that the middle class is necessarily there. Now, there is some towns or cities where there is, I guess, a middle class, right? But for the majority, I think you either got a little bit of money and you don't have money. Like the 7 out of 10 houses. Like, go in your neighborhood, count 7 houses. Those are living paycheck to paycheck. 83% of U.S. Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Dang. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think there should be a wealth tax implemented?
Man.
Hell no. I'll answer that for you.
Like I said, yeah.
You go and earn it. That's me.
Sure.
You ask me, like, you want more money, you go make more money.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it. If you're not making enough money 40 hours, go work 60 hours.
I think people are just selfish, man, in my opinion, because it's like you're so lazy and you're so incompetent to like better your lives. You want to take it away from the person, from the people who do better for themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how I see it. And it's like, they say it's unfair that how they're making this much money. And, you know, and I'm like, bro, it's good on them that they're making money. They literally work from scratch, like with your story, right? With my brother's story, they literally start from the bottom and now they work themselves up there. Just like Amazon. You act like he became a billionaire overnight.
Sure.
Like, do you guys not read his story? Even Mark Zuckerberg, right? Read their story to see where they came from. And it's like they just got handed to them, their business. Their dudes are literally working from their garage,
yeah.
right? And you asking us to take that away from them? You're taking your work away. You know, any business owner or even small business owner will definitely disagree and like be insulted to that, like amount of work that you put in, and then you're gonna have to take away because some ungrateful bastards want to ask for some money because they're lazy to do and get money for themselves.
Unfiltered, grateful bastards.
It's like asking for, you know, you always had that guy in school that was like, hey, let me copy your homework.
Yeah.
It's like that. And when I was at FedEx, I worked with the chairman pretty much on the regular. I saw him at least 2 or 3 times a week, and he was close with me, and I was close with them. I knew his story. He wrote a paper about shipping in the 70s or his late 60s. Got like a D on the paper because they said there's no way that this is going to work. He turns it into FedEx slowly but surely. I mean, he bought like a feeder plane, and that's he was flying the planes himself back and forth delivering documents and things like that until it grew into what we know as FedEx. Damn. And just the thought of that, just working with him and dealing with him, after hearing his story, having people turn around and say, well, you need to give me that paper. You got too much of it. You need to give it to me. And he's like, well, what did you do to earn it?
Yeah.
What did you do? Mm-hmm. And I think about people like you that run all the businesses. You know, it's like we're friends. If I was like, hey, you got too much money, you need to.
Yeah.
Which I kind of do that anyway.
So there's a problem. I think that in this country there's too much economic disparity. Right now, when I say you need to take the money away from people, as people think
Shit.
people think I say like Joe Schmo, like motherfucking Ben. He got a commercial. Banh Mi. He's selling Vietnamese sandwiches, right?
What are we going there for?
No, I mean I just thought it was something that he's good at.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's say he's Vietnamese, but let's say he got a commercial Banh Mi, right? He's making good money. He's worth like 50 million. I don't want to take money. Should not be taken from him. Money needs to be taken from these mega corporations that make a lot of money. You know, and the sense is these statistics I saw the other day. So we pulling out the facts here. What? So look, the middle class, right? The middle class, everybody think, oh, the middle class in America. It's only 20% of the population. The middle class is 20% of the population. So look, the working class, which is the majority of people, is 40% of the population. And then the poor class is 20%. So 60% of people come from humble livings, right? Humble, nice, mediocre, right? So 60% of the population only has 4% of the wealth. Only 4% of the wealth, right? So pretty much, if you're working class, means you're making 70,000 and below. That's not that. That's somebody making 70,000. They got a decent job nowadays. Like 70,000, I'm happy, right? So 60% owns only 4% of the wealth, and then it says poor people are targeted via immigration. Such as immigration, cash bail, just easy money. And then the middle class are treated as replaceable, conditioned to resent middle class / upper class professionals, often pitted against each other politically. So you got all these regular people, we got all of us arguing about Kamala and Trump, and all these rich people are laughing their ass off. Like, look at these poor bastards. They're fighting each other and we're robbing them blind. Well, they already robbed us blind. Look. We only own 4% of the wealth. So if you've read the book, The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio, unlike me, I watched the video, right? I'm not gonna sit down and read a book. I'm gonna just watch the video. So it pretty much it highlights how all the empires died, and the way they died is that the economic disparity got too big. So it got too big. Then the people made a revolution, destroyed that government, and made a new government. But how do you prevent destroying your government? So the way you prevent it is you redistribute the wealth. So it actually happened in this country in the 1940s with FDR. He made the New Deal. So they redistributed wealth. They took it from these big mega corporations who were rigging the system, and they redistributed it, right? And then the country kept going. So at this point, what's gonna happen, and what this guy predicts, and what probably will happen, is that things are gonna keep going the way they are. These mega corporations are gonna keep getting rich. The people are gonna get pissed off. They're gonna say, let's tax the rich. Let's take all their money, right? Which is happening. You hear that already.
It's in the process, yeah.
You see like graffiti, tax the rich or eat the rich.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is government is gonna start taxing these people. These people are gonna leave. They're gonna take their money with them. And when they take their money with them, the dollar gets destroyed. The country goes to shit. So that's the inevitable fact in the history that has happened in the world. And what we are probably gonna fall victim to again. And so that's why, no, we do need to I'm not saying take from the rich people and then motherfuckers just hand it out to you, but hey, maybe you make education free or make something to give people opportunity, not give them equal outcome, but just equal opportunity, you know?
I mean,
I just try to look at it as if I was the corporation and I worked my butt off and I finally got up there, and then it's like, well, but you have to give so much money to these people. All right, well, what did they do? I worked my butt off to get here. What did they do? Oh, well, you just have too much money, so we're just gonna, you know what I mean? That's the part where I get hung up, as if it was me. It's easy to be on our side in the middle class and the poor going tax the rich, eat the rich. But what if you're the rich and you're because I worked hard? And I don't think there's some corporations that got it easy. You know, you hear they say about Trump, well, my father gave me a small loan of $1 million. And it's like, wow, I wish can I get a small loan of $1 million? So I don't know. I just try to look at it both ways. And I get hung up on that was if it was my, Milliken Creative made it up to that height. And then I have to turn around and help, whoever, illegal immigrants, whatever the program is that I have to pay out to. So what would you do, I guess?
So the thing is you're gonna have to give up your money either way.
Sure.
Right? So you can either give it up and the easy way, okay, nobody wants to give money.
That's
nobody
why they
wants
do
to pay taxes.
so much charity work and stuff like that. So that's to try to avoid the paying of the taxes.
Right. But you with if you redistribute the wealth, okay, either do it the easy way, right? Which is the non-violent way, or these people, the regular people, are so fed up that, man, we're doing all the work and we're eating shit sandwiches, that they create a revolution and they come take it from you forcefully. Human beings are like that, If you can't feed your family and you see this rich bastard, he's living it up, and you haven't ate in 3 days, people start going primal, And I think that's just the reality of it. If we get to a point where everybody is broke, they're gonna start looking left and right. Who got money? Who got stuff to get after? Now, right? You're probably, these rich people probably gonna have guns to defend themselves. But that's what it's gonna get to, and I don't want it to get to that.
So this is what I say, man. I see where you're going. For me, it's hard. We talked about this. When you work your ass off, it's hard to even digest what those people got to say. To be honest with you. Now, thank God, alhamdulillah, thank God for everything. I've achieved some things. Right? Thank God. I can't not say that, right? I've achieved some things. And I've always told people, there's some guys that are around me. They're I wish I had what you had, or you're lucky. And I'm bro, I'm not going to sit here and have a sob story on my podcast. I'm not. I have not come across a man yet, maybe one or two, that will go through the process that I went. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah, in 29 years, I have not come across a man yet that will be willing to do what I did. Now, everybody has that in their own relative terms. Amazon, whoever you want to put. Okay? So if I know that you're not going to do it, and I'm like a tadpole in a big pond, or I'm the little fish, the sharks, what is the fish called that follows the shark and eats the scraps? Okay? I'm like the,
Shrimp.
Whatever it is, I'm the small fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you got you got big fish, you got bigger fish, you got sharks, you got great white sharks, you got orcas, you got whales, you got different levels. This is a country. Okay? Now you got the guys that are on the bottom, the bottom feeders, the shrimp, wanting to go eat what the sharks eat. Well, go get it, go hunt it, go kill it.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Okay? Now, we did talk about this, but I can't have any sympathy for for somebody to say like, I should take some of their money. Mm-hmm. When you work 40 hours a week, you have no right to talk. You have no right to talk if you work 40 hours a week. Now, at the same time, I think this is a mix, okay? Because I tried, like, I believe in clean money. I believe in everything being ethical. Everything you're doing it with morals, right? Now, some of these guys have achieved it unethically. We have to put that out there also, okay? And some of these guys are willing to do what it takes for them to eat and to hurt other people for them to eat. Now, we can't ignore that. Not every corporation is a healthy, nice, clean corporation.
Yeah.
Okay? But also, it goes back to our politics. I think this disparity gap that we're talking about is influenced majorly by the politics. Because now this will go into corporate influence in politics. So this is going to keep the gap bigger and bigger. And they're going to keep this gap bigger and bigger because as long as these people are fighting each other, talking about money and trying to survive in survival mode, as long as you're in survival mode, you're going to be fighting to survive. That's what survival mode is, right? You're fighting to survive. And the only excuse that you have or the only thing you can think of is why don't they give me money? Why can't I take from them? They have so much money. They're so rich. Okay? And they have us pitted against each other because if we break this, what does Andrew Tate call it? The
Matrix.
The matrix. If you break the matrix, then you don't need them. Like somebody argues, like they tell me, like, Mo, you should vote, you should do this, and you need. I'm like, F politics, F the president. I don't need his authority to live, to survive. I'm gonna respect the president of the United States. I'm gonna respect the politicians. I'm not gonna talk shit and do nothing crazy. But I'm not gonna rely on my living and the living of my family based off a politician. And that's what 99% of the US population does. And that's why we're in this problem. If you just shut up and don't rely on nobody and work and don't make excuses and don't look for handouts, you can make a living in this country. There's still opportunity to make it. Now, is it easy? No, it's not easy. But the opportunity is still there for you to make it. But they make it seem like there's no opportunity. They have you on this wheel running like a hamster. And they want you on here. They throw this news article in front of you. Second attempt of Trump assassination. Joe Biden doing this and doing this happening and this happening. Okay, if we really are the American people, the patriots that stands up for the world and we really care and we have the old ethics and morals that we have, we would stand up for the people getting slaughtered in Palestine. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a Holocaust happen in 2024. They said it will never happen again after the one that happened, right?
Yep.
We're seeing it happen in present day. Nobody's saying a word. Why? Because everybody's asleep. Everybody's in survival mode. They don't give a shit. That's just a small example. You don't have to care about people's lives. Okay? So what's going on? People are asleep. People are on the hamster wheel. And so they put you on the hamster wheel. They put you against each other, fight each other, and you can't think. You can't even think on how I'm going to make the next move.
How can they do that though?
I mean, that's why you have to
Because they
keep
get so
up with
mega
politics.
wealthy.
That's why you have to keep up with politics. That's why you have to keep up with who's running for mayor, who's your legislative, who's your senator. We don't even know what policy they are pushing. Yet we have to worry about who's our president is. Like literally majority of the people do not keep up with those things. And it's our fault. Yeah. We have to blame it ourselves. We over here trying to vote for president where we don't even vote. I mean, I'm guilty as charged as well, right? I don't even vote for it, which I'm trying to get better at. But we need to keep track of these policies. And there's people saying like if we don't focus on those things and live on our own life, then we're gonna give free reign for these politicians to pass policies that will make our life living hell. Just so, for example, Canada, it's hard to get rich over there. Super hard. You're literally they made it so hard for a small business owner to get rich. Now I don't know what policy they have, but I just have Canadians who just complain and like videos they're saying, yeah, you cannot run a business in Canada because it's just so hard compared to America. Right? We probably have one of the most lenient policies on running a business, right? That's why, coming to America, we have so much more opportunity compared to the rest of the world. And, but yeah.
So I agree, like America is the best, but there's a problem. And this is my mindset. Look, what should the country do? I believe the country should redistribute the wealth to prevent it from imploding.
But how do you redistribute it?
But what can I do, right? What can I do? I can't do nothing to change the government, so I just got to get rich myself.
Let me tell you something.
Now I got to be part of them. Look, what are they supposed to do? The reality is you can't let these corporations get so big to where they buy politicians and then they rig the system, right? Right now it's bad. Wait till we get to 2050. It's going to be worse. So that's what I mean by like these people get so much money and they make monopolies and they destroy other businesses. And they say, oh, in capitalism, right, it's competition. Whoever has the best product wins. That's not true. Because if you get a monopoly, you whooping everybody. And you can take a loss while they get beat. Like they did it with the oil. Rockefeller, he would sell oil at a loss. Just the other guy would go out of business. Now he got a monopoly. And that's the same thing they're doing, And then they buy politicians. They rig the system, make it better for themselves. And then next thing you know, we're all just fudging slaves, But we're living the American dream, aren't we?
I mean,
bullshit.
I get
Fudging slaves.
Preach, bro. Preach.
I agree that there's plenty of loopholes in our law, right? There's always going to be loopholes. People who's going to find creative ways to get around those loopholes, and I think there's no such thing as a monopoly, and by definition, because there's laws against that, right? However, there's loopholes where you can see, if you connect in a dot, there may be sense of a monopoly, like, Walmart owning, a Walmart owning different grocery stores, I don't know what stores they own, or like T-Mobile owning, or not T-Mobile, but what is one of the, is T-Mobile? Like owning AT&T, or like, multiple phone line owning.
Basically, Disney owns about everything.
Yeah, exactly, But we can't say it's monopoly because by paper, it's not.
What's that? It's called the oligopoly, actually.
I don't know what that is.
So it means like Disney owns like all these certain things. Like food brands, I think there's only like 6 companies. And they're all to break up into miniature companies like Nestle and all this stuff.
So it's a loophole. Here's the thing. Loopholes, I don't have nothing against loopholes, okay? Here's the thing.
It is when you're taking advantage of it.
No, that's what I'm going to get to, right? If you're getting dirty, which people in business are, right? Everybody's made a mistake. Everybody has done something wrong, whether it's a mistake or on purpose. This is part of business. Now, is it right? And I'm not saying it's right. Loopholes is fine. Now, companies also do like sub-companies for their own protection. Because one of the ways to get rich in this country is lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So you protect yourself by having other companies. Anyway, my point is, the distribution of wealth, I don't agree for. Now, for the ones that are rigging the system to the point where it's unlawful, even like if it's like, not literally, like we know what's unlawful. Mm-hmm. You should go after them. Okay? But at the end of the day, bro, hard work pays. At the end of the day, I don't have nothing else to say besides hard work pays. Now, I did say like the politicians have a problem, and like growing up working the 10, 12 years, I still don't know politics. I talk about politics, and I was just this much. Surface level. Growing up when I was on the street, you think I knew who was even the president of the United States, bro? Yeah. I didn't even know who the president was. I didn't know who the mayor was. I didn't know who was in Congress. I didn't know nothing. I still made it happen. So my point is not necessarily ignore politics or ignore the policies. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is don't rely on them. Don't let them control your life. Don't live through them.
Yeah.
They're living for you. You're living through them. That's all you're doing. Who gives a shit? Go do what you got to do, bro. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Kamala. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. It doesn't matter who the hell it is. Go do what you got to do. Keep an ear open. Right? They say keep an ear to the ground. Right? Keep your ear to the ground and work. Do what you got to do.
But don't you? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say one of the things that drives me up the wall about that stuff is big corporations and celebrities trying to tell us how to vote.
Yeah.
And trying to influence us that way. And that just always, I don't know, it grinds my gears because they have no idea what the regular person lives like.
Yeah.
And yet they're trying to push their political ideologies onto us. He just made me think about that. And I know that kind of goes with what Gio was saying too, but those guys shouldn't be pressuring millions of Americans on their vote just because we shop at Starbucks every day, you know?
I feel like as a citizen, we all have a sense of duty as a citizen to keep track, and it's a lot like to keep track about and to hold our politician accountable, and it's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of that side of the story because it's an endless cycle, man. And then you also have to worry about your own family and all that stuff. So it's just a lot to keep track of. So I don't know how can we balance, being a responsible citizen for our country while being the other part of our life, you know? That's why you see older people tend to be more involved with politics, you know, and the younger people are just focusing on working, you know?
Well, you're young, you're trying to make your dreams happen, you know? And these old people, they got nothing to do.
Yeah, they're retired.
Kids already left. I think the reality of it is, what can we do? We can't do nothing but work our ass off. And like you said, not have to rely on the government. The government is never going to save you, you know? Yeah, I was talking about motherfucking and Kamala going to give $25K, right? But what is $25K in 2024?
Shit,
Yeah, but where does that come from as well? That eventually comes from taxpayers' pockets.
And it is going to lead to more.
It just sounds
problems.
good when they say it out loud. Oh, because she said something else about $6,000 per child or something like that. If you're a new family,
Yeah.
And then she said, and I'm like,
Well, I might want that to pass.
yeah, well, it's gonna come from us.
6,000.
I saw a meme and it said like it was a meme like government funded and it had an arrow and it was like really taxpayer funded. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and then back on Gio's thing, who it really affects is the middle class and the lower class. It doesn't affect those millionaire, the upper class stuff. They don't feel that, but we do. So every time that a politician says something like that, I roll my eyes because I'm like, yeah, who's going to pay for that though?
Yep.
If they can't tell you where the money's going to be generated from, my dad always says if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably bullshit. So
Yep. And then here's the thing. We also talk about that like one. Can you hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
But one millionaire told me, he said, I don't give a shit who's in office. I'm gonna make my money. I don't give a damn. I will make it happen, right? Mm-hmm. Now he's a millionaire. Okay, good. Like he can make it happen. But also that should be your mindset.
Yeah.
Who
100%.
gives a damn? I used to have the mindset like when Trump was in office, oh shit, Trump is in office. But this year I changed my mindset. I was talking to my brothers. I even told Gia, I'm like, you know what? I'm not living by that no more. I'm going to make it happen at all costs. I don't give a damn who's in office. I'm going to make it work. Who gives a damn? I'm not relying on them. I'm not relying on the economy they put out. Now, obviously, that's going to be part of it, but I'm not going to rely on that. I'm going to make it happen. I have a goal. I need to live. I need to do this. I will make it happen at all costs. Now, if the American people change their mind to that, their mindset, we will see a difference in the American people.
We just can't let things happen like COVID where we let the government shut down the entire country. Then nobody was making money. Then everybody was on gridlock.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was on gridlock except for the big ass corporations.
Sure.
You tell me that. A mom and pop's grocery store had to close down, but Walmart and Kroger has to stay open.
Right.
You tell me that.
That was,
It happened a lot.
A big restaurant can open, a small mom and pop shop can't open.
Yep. And then the ones the mom and pops that fought against that and says, I'm going to open anyway.
They got effed up.
That's what I'm saying. They got yanked out of there.
But you're going to tell me 10,000 people can walk into Walmart in a day and nothing to be spread?
Yeah.
Come on, get the hell out of here.
It was the biggest example of hypocrisy that I've ever seen in my life.
And we let too much slide. Look how much we're getting. We talk about taxes that we're paying these days.
Yeah.
We fought a battle over that shit back in the day.
Over 2%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We fought over 2% back in the day. Look at this. Look at the shit that we're going through today.
Yeah.
Like people have licked the slides to the point to where like The truth is, we are funding everything off of our backs. You slave all day, you work all damn day for them to take X amount, like we did math a few weeks ago, for them to take all this shit. Like, why am I working? Like, if you do overtime, so people that don't know this, you have to do math when you do overtime, that there's a certain point of overtime that you can do before you're just working for free.
Yeah.
You're working for no reason.
Yeah.
You're paying so much taxes that you should only hit a certain amount of overtime before you're just working for no reason.
Yeah.
That you're not getting paid for.
It seems.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's ridiculous.
They tell you time and a half, but really the taxes eats up most of that.
That's it.
From what I've noticed, I work a lot of overtime, and I've noticed that if it goes up to like 10 hours of overtime, that makes a difference. But if it goes past that,
You're working for no reason.
Right.
You're working to pay taxes. That's it.
That's it.
Just to give them the money back. You're wasting your days just to give them the money back. When I realized that, I was like, bro, we are effed up. When I realized that, like, we are effed up beyond measure. And we fought a fudging over 2% tax back in the day.
Yep. I mean, it all comes back to like we hit a little bit about this, but it's like they just keep us so busy in the rat race, like trying to make our dreams happen, doing overtime, and then you worried about all the politics, and you worried about who's fighting at UFC 306, and they just keep you distracted. That they just rob us blind, you know.
Yep.
And when I say blind, it's 1% of the population, the mega rich, not the whatchamacallit, like the owner of Huey's or whatever, like. Well, okay, what influence does that bastard have? Well, I don't know him, but what influence is the owner of Huey's gonna have?
Hey,
know?
bro, we might know.
And the owner of Huey's is gonna get offended. Oh, he's trying to take my money. I know I trade. We're talking about these mega rich people.
You're talking about the Sam Walton bloodline.
Yeah.
Hey, you like this kind of stuff. I know Gio likes the history stuff, but that's what the Roman Colosseum was made for.
Entertainment.
To give the people something to focus on besides what was happening in the government.
Bro, we fight over football players and basketball players that don't know who the hell we are.
No.
We fight each other. You fight family.
Yeah.
People fight family over a football player that doesn't even know they even live on the face of this earth.
I hate
You
that.
think about that.
Yeah.
You fight over football players, basketball players, UFC fighters. I remember I was at a fight and somebody went off. I never stepped foot in that house again. I never walked into that house again. I told them, I said, you're yelling about a fighter that doesn't even know you were even here, that you're even alive. You're fighting with this person over that. I've never walked into her house again.
Wow.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, how dumb do you have to be? But that's where they got us. To that point, you know?
I don't think that. No government has no influence over like.
Are you serious, bro?
Bro,
Are you serious?
I feel like it's an individual problem if you just get so emotional and worked up over something. Like people feel passionate about their thing, you know. It's all fun and games. It's not that you know. People get mad, okay, but I don't think it's a serious note where you're gonna get distracted. I can still get mad over a soccer game and then still pay attention. I'm okay. You know, I'm learning.
Well, the thing is, like,
That's not my point.
Nah, I see it on both sides.
like they got you mad over Conor McGregor instead of
Who's they?
the fudging 1%ers.
No, bro.
Yes, bro. They got you mad. They got you mad over Conor McGregor instead of being mad about 40% tax you pay.
Okay,
I just felt like
with that logic, okay, let's say I got my butt whooped and I got mad because I got my butt whooped at the match.
That's not exactly that. I mean, we're not. Listen, we're not to that. I'm not talking to that extent, but I'm talking to the extent that they have your mind somewhere else.
The 1% kill your battery.
Okay.
Dude, it's your no. I think.
Listen, dude. Most of these, you talk to some of these millionaires and billionaires. You think they sit all day watching just football games?
I think it's
You think they just sit there watching football games?
entertainment is important. However, you consume too much and you get involved into it. It's an individual problem. You don't blame it on somebody else who, like.
No, here's the thing. I'm not person blaming.
Yeah,
I don't
not
watch
you.
it. I don't
I'm
watch
talking
it. You
about
have to have
other
control
people.
at the end of the day. You have to break away from that matrix. You have to break away from that hamster wheel. At the end of the day, you have to break away from it. But they have made this so accessible, and Corn, I learned on one of the podcasts, right? Corn and OnlyFans and all this entertainment that they throw in front of you
I
to
think-
keep you busy. Okay?
Well, I mean, you can't
to keep
blame
you on
our
the hamster
society
wheel.
involving. So, would you want less innovation then?
That's not innovation.
That's not
cuz.
innovation.
Listen, that's
It is innovation, dude. It's so powerful how powerful and vast the internet is, because we can just have the power of knowledge.
You are,
on
but
our
here's the
hand.
thing. Now, this is what I'm trying to.
However,
I see
there
what you're
is a
saying.
downfall. Don't get me wrong. There's pros and cons to it. But then again, if you put a cap to that, what makes you put a cap to everything else? You know what I mean? Because of course, there's gonna have to be balance. But then again,
I like your optimism. I really do.
Yeah.
But in a society where they have you on this hamster wheel, and the phone can make you rich, and the phone can make you dumb as a rock. Okay, you're either goofing off watching porn on there, you're paying OnlyFans. Move your big old head out of my camera.
sorry.
You're paying for OnlyFans. You can't even pay your bills. You can't feed your family. You're on OnlyFans, paying all these things, all these subscriptions. You're watching a football game. You're doing all this. Now it's your choice. Mm-hmm. But I go back to if you're awake. Mm-hmm. If you're awake and you're a healthy mindset, you can break away from that. If your mind is sharp enough, if the sword is sharp enough, you can get away from that, and you will see success. Those are the people that see success. But for the most of the population, you're stuck on this hamster wheel. I'm struggling. I'm surviving to live. I'm on this hamster wheel of death, and the only thing I get is a little dopamine rush from the food that they provide me, which the food they have is cancerous, which is through the government. Okay. Through the government, they have all this entertainment for us so we can get this dopamine rush. And we're on this other hamster of getting this dopamine rush, and we're not getting anywhere. This is the problem. Now, it's your choice to break away from it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not, no way in hell I'm saying, hey, that's an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's your choice to break away from that. But it's not easy. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And so it goes back to the same thing that we've been talking about. I mean, that's all I can say. It's going back to everything. Everything kind of is a culmination. All right. And so I have a question for you guys. Somebody asked me a question. I'm going to shift topics. So we're going to keep running this hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. I'm going to answer these two questions because somebody sent these in. So we're going to make sure we get to it. Is Kamala a DEI candidate? So when I got this question, I had to look it up. I'll be honest. That's how far out of the loop of politics. And I had to ask Gio and Ben last night. So Gio, I'm going to let you do the explanation. What is a DEI candidate?
So DEI stands for diverse, equal, and inclusive. Yeah. I think that's what it is. So pretty much, like, what it comes down to is this person not white? That's basically what it means, right? Are they diverse? Means they're different race. Is it inclusive? Meaning, are they part of the LGBT community? And is like, are they given like an equal shot? That's pretty much what it means. So pretty much like a person of color, who might be gay or some kind of different orientation than straight. So that's pretty much what it means. So
I don't know much about this, so I'm not going to really answer it to that point. But if it's along those lines that you said about being LGBTQ and whatnot, does it, I'm just asking a question here. Is it a coincidence that they push all these agendas and push it and push it and push it, and now they have a big population of that, and now they want to bring in somebody that they'll get the voters, she'll get the votes for it? Possibly. Now, is it when you talk about race and color, I don't think that matters because Obama was in office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, as a woman, I get it. But now I'm not going to say anything else because I don't know enough about DEI candidates. So I'm going to let you guys answer that.
I think a lot of corporations are pulling back on that. Everybody had it. Everybody had a DEI chapter in their corporation, and everybody's wiping it out because I think it just breeds more racism.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because I don't,
skills over whatever the term they use now. They say it's skill over something.
Right. I think it just goes back to not to bring back the last topic, but it's just another thing that gets people fired up.
Like multiple of celebrities talk about this saying, dude, race only exists when you talk about it. You know what I mean? So there's
racism. There's racism. I'll tell you.
Sure, there is.
There's listen. Now let's go ahead.
Maybe prejudice.
Listen, screw Kamala and DI candidate. This is a good topic right here. There is racism like a motherfucker. I will tell you that. And I've witnessed it firsthand, and I'm still witnessing it. And nobody get me wrong. Nobody take me wrong, okay? You guys, everybody's gonna take me wrong. It's unfiltered, though. White people are the best at saying there is no racism.
Why are you looking at me?
And we talked about this when the war started.
Yeah.
We talked about this, how you got certain outcrops of certain people, right?
Sure.
But
Quite the opposite for me.
But it's usually people that aren't where I come from. A lot of my people are not open minded at all.
shit, a lot of the Southerns ain't open-minded either.
That's where I'm
you know what
from.
I'm saying? I'm telling you. So I witnessed it firsthand, you know?
Well, but I was lucky to grow up around people like you and around like where I live is a predominantly black community just past you've been to my house, it's just past that. So I grew up like in a sort of a cultural mix. So I just never, I'm not going to say I've never seen racism, but like I've never had an issue with any race of any. So when people say, oh, there's racism, I guess because I'm white, it's hard for me to say because I've just never seen it. Like I've never seen anybody treat you. I know we've talked about how you've been racially
I don't know.
discriminated against, especially, you know, because you're a Muslim and, you know, but you're just my coach. You're just a normal dude to me. And we talk about your religion. We talk about my religion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I feel ignorant. I really do.
I tell people like I'm not racist, but I hate everyone equally.
That's a good one.
You know. So, but I'm gonna kind of mix this topic because this is another question that came in, and it said, was religion created to manipulate and control people's behaviors and actions so they're more easier to be controlled by the higher authorities?
Keep out of this.
Okay. So
I'm gonna keep out of this.
I think yes, to a certain extent. Right now, if you're a believer, I had this talk. If you're a believer, like. The truth is, okay, now we can talk and it's gonna get a little messy.
Can I chime in?
You can chime in. So listen.
It's
so
like off the rail.
So that's fine. Listen. So this is every culture, every race, not just white people, not just black people, not just Mexicans or Latinos or Arabs. Everybody likes their own people. Let's put that out there first.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put that out there. Now,
is that racism though?
that's not necessarily racism.
Just culturally proud.
Now, there's some
where you come
prejudice,
from.
your cultural pride, but there's some prejudice involved, I believe, right?
Sure.
Now,
Not necessarily.
there's white folks that say you ain't marrying a black boy or black girl. Let's not lie about that.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, no.
And I've talked to people about this. and I think this, when it comes to, when you talk about Islam, Muslims, I think this is a very big thing right now. The whole separation. Now this, I don't think it was, religion was created for that. I'm a believer. I don't think God created Islam. I believe Islam or Christianity. God created Christianity for you to separate you from me. Right? I don't think it was to make us fight each other. No, I think it was created to put you on a path to follow these books, to follow these commandments, to get you to heaven, to the hereafter. We believe that we're on earth to work for the hereafter. In Islam, that's what we believe, okay? I don't believe my religion was created to get me to fight Catholicism or Christianity or Hinduism or Buddha or whatever it is. But I do believe politicians and societies have made it to the point where we pitted against each other. We're fighting against each other. Because I tell people, and you don't have to agree with me, just look at the proof, right? And go do your own research. This is a conspiracy. 9/11, Iraq War, all the wars in the Middle East was created for colonialism, to rule the world, to get the natural resources, for money. That's what that happened. The 9/11 thing, bullshit. I believe 1,000% that was created by the government. And if you say our government is not going to kill us, look at COVID and look at other things. Look at the food that we're eating that's approved by the government that's killing most of the population. So the government is willing to kill you, if you ask me. Now that's some very big things to say, but that's just facts. This is not BS.
Yep, that's true.
Okay? So they needed a war. They needed an enemy to go to war with. And so why do they preach about women being oppressed? Muslim women being oppressed. Muslim women being mistreated. Muslim women can't drive. Muslim women can't go to school. Now, in some countries, that's true. I'm not going to disagree. Okay? But they needed a religion to fight against, because that region is predominantly Muslim, to fight against. Now, you have the separation of, and it's funny because a Jewish rabbi talked about this. I watched a video on it. And he said, they have, Christians and Jewish people are closer together, and they have the Muslims on the other side. This was created to happen, for everything to happen in the Middle East. This is by a Jewish rabbi that said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's even telling you guys, like, look what's happening. They're making us an enemy that's really not doing anything wrong. Some people in the United States hate Islam because of the wars, because of 9/11. When you think 9/11, you think of a bearded guy that's a Muslim. That's his name is some crazy long name. That's what you think, right? But also, they also created the enemy because there's feminism now in Islam, right? It's new world, it's 2024. But there ain't no feminism bullshit. There's a husband and there's a wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're not for all this stuff that are passed in this country. And we're not for pornography, and we're not for adultery, and we're not for showing the skin and having OnlyFans and selling your body. We're not for that. Now, true Christians are still not for that. True Christians, just like true Muslims. I don't want to disrespect Christianity and say, only Muslims are true. No. But we still follow this. And if you don't follow this, then it's almost like you're getting shunned on. And people call that like toxicity. No, you're not following the religion. We're not going to just make it normal and be like, oh, that's fine. Do whatever you want. No, it's not fine. And so they have pitted Christianity against Islam. They've pitted the United States against Islam. Now, in that aspect, yeah, but I don't think God created a religion for that purpose. And I'll give you another example. With the Palestine war, I was talking to a lady, and she's like, the truth is about the Palestine war, nobody wants to look at it or support it because we have a huge prejudice toward Islam and Muslims because of 9/11 and the war and the soldiers that we lost. Americans have a hard time accepting that fact. They have a hard time being real and saying we don't like Muslims because of the wars that we had. But they're fine with watching 20, 25,000 kids. Don't talk about everybody else. Talk about kids.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Chinese. I don't care what you are. If it's a kid that's going to get killed, I'm going to try to kill whoever's killing that kid. I don't give a damn who you are. That's a kid, bro. And so that's just an example of the world getting pitted, the Americans getting pitted against Islam to the point where they're watching a Holocaust, and no disrespect to the people that have been in a Holocaust or know if anybody's been in a Holocaust. No disrespect. It's happening in 2024. And not a single American. I mean, there's a lot of Americans that support it, right? Support Palestine. But for the majority of the United States of America does not give a shit that there's kids getting killed. But when it happened in Ukraine, they stood up for Ukraine. Same thing is happening, bro. There's videos of it. Okay? And this is a famous quote that I want to say. Just because I have the spotlight of the podcast, I want to say it. But it said, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. So for whoever says that they support Palestine and don't support Israel and the killing of kids, innocent kids, men and women and elderly, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Whether you get hurt by that or not, that's what you have chosen. You guys can put whatever.
I feel like that's so manipulative.
That's not manipulative. That's
because
just
you're
truth.
guilt tripping.
I'm not guilt tripping. Why am I guilt tripping?
No,
because for Ukraine you can stand up.
No,
But
I'm not talking about Palestine or Ukraine, but the quote of itself, how I take it. If you're not on any side, let's say I'm not on side with Russia or Ukraine, would that still be me choosing Russia? Or some people think Russians are correct because they're defending their side, right?
Okay, but that's a small example. But when I talk about Palestine, okay, I'm just kind of reflecting it. It's not the same topic. They're both in wars. But one point when I said Ukraine is when people saw the kids in Ukraine die or women in Ukraine die, there was an outcry. There was no outcry for Palestinian women and kids, bro.
People who watch it.
Still, you don't see American posts about it.
What do you consider? I mean, is that what you consider like people are not supporting because you don't see people talking about it? Like, what if?
Yeah, I mean, why would you share a Ukraine post? For example, I'll give you an example. Why would you share a Ukraine post, but you won't share a Palestine post? If you are for justice, doesn't matter where they're from.
Well, that's true. It should be across the board.
It should be across the board, but it's not. That's my point. And Americans have a hard time believing that that's the truth. I just don't want to post about it.
I don't know if you're just you're singling a group of people who does that, or just because I see people share about Palestine all the time. So
I mean, but how big is the number? Is my point. I mean, we are seeing more. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not trying to single out the whole country, but I'm saying we're talking about as a majority. We're talking as a society. People are still supporting Israel. Yeah. And you're seeing the lack of support for innocent kids and women. There's videos coming out of Palestine right now that you saw in the Holocaust. So kids are boned. That's it.
I think let's clarify some things. I don't think nobody on this earth who has a stable mindset, or not mindset, but mentality or whatever, morals, a good set of morals, agreed on killing women, innocent women and children. I think
they're not going to say that.
Let's all agree on that. Any
I would
normal being.
I would like to believe that.
I've lost hope. I believe there's no such. I don't believe anybody who have a good set of morals support that killing of innocent women. However, I think people who supported Israel. Now, I'm not saying I've supported Israel, but people who support Israel, they might support the fact that they're just defending themselves because of the retaliation.
Defending themselves against a kid, against a woman, against the elderly.
Is that? I mean, I don't see it like that. I don't see they just go in there and start killing women and kids, bro.
Are you serious?
I think
they're carpet bombing the whole city.
I think
they're bombing every house, every library.
A casualty. I mean, we're at fault too, Americans. Which is I'm ashamed of saying that because it's true. And Americans do it all the time. This is casualties due to war.
Yeah, collateral damage. That's an excuse now in Palestine. That's an excuse in Palestine. So at the cost of collateral damage, you just kill innocents.
I mean,
here's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Why is it it's collateral damage only when it comes to the Palestinian issue? At this rate, I'm talking about this level. I did not, at the beginning of the war, I honestly, God, did not believe it was going to go this long because I thought there was a sense of humanity where people are going to outcry so much that they were going to try to push the war to stop. I honestly, God, when I tell you I lost belief in humanity, I honestly, God did. I don't say it as much as I do, but bro, 50,000, and people most say you know how many people came out, Peterson came out, and all these, Mark Wahlberg, all these famous dudes. You know what their tweets were? Some of them were, kill them all. That's all they said. Like Andrew, what is his name? Peterson said, give them hell. Who are you giving hell, bro? Babies and women? Like, kill them all.
Nobody's gonna kill them all the women and kids, bro. I think you're taking it too far.
Ben, here's the thing. You are part of the group that doesn't want to research or look into what's happening. The video is there.
I see it. But I'm not talking about, is it wrong? I'm not talking about, is it just to kill women and innocent women and kids? We're not talking about
what
that.
What you're talking about is saying that they're not trying to kill women and kids on purpose, right?
No, it's collateral damage.
That's not collateral damage. There's videos of them.
Yes, they're not killing on kids on purpose.
But are you serious, Ben?
I think nobody in their right mind, moral
They're not in the right mind. There's videos of them right now, Israeli soldiers with a sniper. This is a video that just came out. With a sniper in a group, and they're looking at a kid playing in a soccer field. They're laughing. Shoot that one in the red. Boom. And they all start laughing. The next one, shoot him in the red.
Bro.
Boom.
You believe that's on the internet?
Yes, I'm there. I saw them. I saw what happened in Palestine in firsthand. Bro. This is not bullshit what you see in Gaza. Like, you want to say it's mainly the videos are there.
It's bullshit. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
When you take them and you tell them, hey, we're finna bomb this region, move to this side of the south side of Gaza, and they're in tents, and there's it's a safe zone. It's labeled a safe zone. And they themselves has labeled, the Israeli military has labeled a safe zone. And everybody knows, the UN knows, and everybody knows. You know what happens when they get to that safe zone? They bombed them. That's collateral damage? Come on, get the hell out of here.
I don't know much story to I don't know.
Well, there's a reason, like, them folks over there, this thing, the Jews.
Are there war crimes? Yes, I agree. There is war crime, dude. Like, brother, there's war crime in every war. No, literally. Yes, it is. I can tell you multiple.
This is not just. But here's the thing this is the thing with Palestine, bro. Like, people keep saying what you're saying right now, which is I'm not gonna get you. I'm not gonna get you to believe or disbelieve whatever. This is just me telling you what's happening. Okay, what they do is they label a terrorist. Okay, they say there was a terrorist under this house. There's a terrorist in this community, and the collateral damage of killing this terrorist was to kill 500 other people around them. That's what they do, bro. Okay, then show me the terrorist with the gun that you killed. Just show me it. They have the technology to show us. They hit They hit an office building in Lebanon, pinpoint. They hit a apartment in Iran, not in Palestine where they are, in Iran, pinpoint. One building. They took out one building, one apartment room. They took out one room, bro. Now, they didn't take out the whole neighborhood. They took out one room. So you're going to tell me you can take out one room, but in the Gaza Strip, you have to take out the whole neighborhood? Come on. Like, put that aside, bro.
I mean, the reality is
Yeah,
that
it's
the
wrong.
Jews see the Palestinians as subhuman. They don't look at them as humans, and that's how they treat them. You can see by the actions. That's how they treat the people. And let me tell you the reality.
You said Jews,
The
like
Jews
all
think about
Jews?
yes. It's in their Bible.
I will correct G on this just because this is the problem that we have with the Palestine war is people label all Jews. No, it's not all Jews, guys.
My bad.
These guys, I tell people these are not real Jews because true Jews are the true Jews. Don't believe this. This is Zionism. This is a sickness. Now, by default, they are Jewish. They are Jewish people by default. So I don't want nobody to get upset. This is not all Jews. This is the Jews that are in Israel. It's a Zionistic party. Belief that nobody is human, including Christians, by the way.
Yeah.
Christians don't know that. It's including Christians. Anybody but them should not be alive. Go read the Talmud.
The Talmud.
Go read that and see what it says. They have a video, bro, of Israeli soldiers raping Palestinian prisoners. Okay? Video came out. They took the Israeli soldiers, they sentenced them. They didn't really sentence them. They took them in jail. You know what they said? They said our higher ups told us to do it. Okay? And so they have to play the politic rule and take them in jail and make it seem like it. The people came out and fought their own government to release them and saying they did not do anything wrong.
They were protesting.
They protested against their own government and they released them.
So they protested saying they have the right to rape those people.
They have the right to rape them. They take dogs and they let the dogs rape the prisoners. They take metal rods, and I've talked to people. They take metal rods and they rape prisoners. They do the craziest thing to them. And on October 7th, they said the Palestinians did it. But there's a video that came out from the IDF, from their military, from their Apaches, of them killing their own people on October 7th. The Hannibal Directive, go look it up. You tell me these people are willing to kill their own people and it's going to cause collateral damage, bro, on Palestinians? These fudges are sick beyond measure. It's an illness beyond measure.
Just evil, man.
This is not collateral damage. They are pinpointing kids. They're targeting kids, bro. We've seen videos, live videos. They took a hospital at the beginning of the war. And they said there was a terrorist in the hospital. They attacked the hospital. Biden got involved. Because you're not, and by law, you can't attack the
So
hospital.
you're telling me tens of thousands of... I find it hard to believe because I'm a veteran. I'm a military man myself. And if my government is telling me to shoot an innocent woman that has no threat whatsoever, you telling me people are doing that?
Bro, they have videos of them talking about it. Their own military's talking about it.
I mean,
I'm telling you, they're sick beyond measure.
That's why I want to be optimistic and I don't want to believe that. But it sucks. I mean, it's true coming from you. You know, you seeing it yourself, and it's just me. It sucks that it happened, and it's discomforting that there's that type of evil in this world, right? And I mean,
and I'm not trying to go off on you, right? But that's my point when I said that if you're not supporting the oppressor, you're with the oppressed. You're with the oppressor.
There's a lot of people who don't know about.
And that's the
Both
problem.
sides.
But here's the problem. But I get what you're saying. But why why do they not look into it? Is what I'm trying to tell you. It's because of the 9/11.
Too busy working.
No, that's part of it. Don't get me wrong. But if it was another group of people that's not Muslim, they wouldn't look into it.
Well, okay, let's say we do look into it. Like I told you in the past, what can we do?
Listen, when the American people start standing up and saying this is wrong, this is happening.
That's true. I mean, like the Vietnam War, people stand up together,
But the more and more that we have, the less. Because now so many Americans are talking about why are we giving them our tax dollars? Yeah. Americans are giving them money. Okay, I'll give you an example to buy weapons. But you know who the only people that can buy the weapons from? From the United States.
Yeah,
it's a money laundering effect. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But that's my whole point. That's with this. We decided to go on this whole rant, but when you
Get
talk
away from
about
the topic.
when you talk about pitted about the religions in this aspect, this is what the cause of the pitting was, and this was created not by God. This was created manipulated. This by the government, bro. The shit that you see in Palestine, I'm telling you, there's nights that I can't sleep.
So
When I see a video, I cannot go to sleep because I've seen it.
So to answer the question, yes.
Yeah, I mean the answer is yes, well, but it's not from God. It's from the government, from the people.
Like who to say the person that uses religion to manipulate you in the first place? You know what I mean? I don't know.
100%. I mean, the Pope used to be the most powerful person in ancient history. So religion definitely played control in society. But the question is it bad to control society? Is it a negative effect? You know, if you're a regular person, like, yeah, it is bad if they control us. But if you're in power, how are you going to control so many people scattered around and they're not going to knock you out of power? You know?
Well, Reagan said famously, the worst words you can hear from the government is "Hi, we're the government and we're here to help you." Like if the government is telling you that, that should be a red flag. And I don't know if anybody else felt really gaslit during the debate when you've got a candidate who is currently the vice president saying, well, when I get in office, I'm going to do a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. You're in there right now.
And you're sending them money, bro.
Wait, she is the acting president.
I mean, because they got Biden out of the way. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even she's the last person, vice president is the last person to sign off on these things. So you're telling me you're just now bringing this up. You're just saying the right words to win this election. That's it. You're not going to do it.
100%.
She's just saying it. She's not going to do it.
Well, she's married to an Israeli, so there's already conflict issues. She's not going to go against Israel.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, and for for everybody else that's on this topic, and I probably should not talk about this because it's going on YouTube, but look up AIPAC, AIPAC, and you're gonna see the influence.
You just killed your algorithm.
You're gonna see what the influence of another country has on American politics, which should not have happened.
You should have spelled it out instead of saying it.
Anyway, let's go on to the next topic.
See how good the algorithm really is.
Next topic. Gun control. What do you think, guys, about gun control?
This is a no-brainer in my world.
So what do you think?
I hear that, man. Sound like an earthquake in here.
So gun control.
What was the question?
So what do you think about it? Like some people want gun control, some people don't. And sometimes when you argue like America's the best country, where are you gonna move? Or are you gonna move to Europe? Can you have a gun there to protect yourself?
See, a lot of people.
So what do you think?
A lot of people are good at pointing out problems, but not coming up with solutions.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Okay, you have a problem with with a gun control. What's your solution to it? What else can they do on top of what we already have? What we have is we have to have a thorough background check. You can't own a gun if you're a felon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to be at age of 18 to buy ammo and a long gun, and then 21 to buy a pistol, right? And then some state you have to get a concealed weapon carry, right? Etc. Right?
Yeah.
So what else can you add on to this? The only thing that I can see is happening is a repetitive mental check. Is it mental check? Is that a
mental evaluation?
Yeah. That's the only thing I could see it from adding. Other than that, is what can you do to also not break our amendments, but also make it to the point where it's safe for people who want to buy guns are eligible, right? So,
yeah, I think what I heard from the Democrats, I think it was one thing they would do is they would add, like you said, they would add do like a mental test, make sure you're not cuckoo, and you wouldn't do nothing crazy with the gun.
And how can they make it subjective more than? Yeah, I mean, can they make it objective more than subjective? Right. Like who will come up with the questions? Is it us as society coming up with it, or like is it our politicians? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's true. I think they'll probably evaluate like your mental state. I know that you can do tests and they can evaluate if you're a depressed person, the way your outlook is in the world. So I'm maybe that they'll do it. If this guy's depressed, maybe he can't get a gun. Yeah. But then again, like does the government have the right to decide if I can get a gun even if I'm depressed?
They shouldn't. I mean, and I think they're riding right on our amendments. They are skirting right on messing with our amendment rights,
Ban the ATF.
and they're just trying to see what they can get away with. Yeah. And I don't.
You know what you asked me, but I think it's going on. I think this is just a money scheme, like
Gun control.
gun control is a money, like economic money move. That's all it is.
How?
Because do you think that if you want a gun, I'm not talking about us in this group. Clarify, right? If you want a gun, Joe Schmo, you think he can get a gun without going to the store?
Yeah.
So why does it matter? And the politicians and whoever you want to put as they on top, they know that, and they know that they cannot take the guns from the American people.
Yeah.
But the American people are so. This is my belief.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no point of gun control.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just asking the question to get your thoughts, right? Because I know people talk about this. Listen, bro. I ain't saying I got a gun. I don't believe in guns. I'm just saying. You think people can?
I got a lot of gun.
I had a water gun. But you think if somebody wanted the gun, that they have to go to the store to buy a gun? No, they don't have to go to a store to buy a gun.
I know.
If you are in Europe or whichever country besides the United States, if you want a gun, do you think you can get a gun? 1,000% you can get a gun, bro. There's a black market everywhere. If you want a gun, you can get the gun.
Or if you want to cause harm, you can cause harm. I mean, there's places
whether it's legal or illegal, you can do it.
London doesn't have guns, and people get killed. They run them over. They stab them. They do.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and hurt people, you're going to find a way to do it regardless, whether it's a gun or a car or whatever. So,
some of these gangs in Memphis and other cities, most of those guns are not legal. They still can get them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like my brother
You know what I'm
said,
saying?
he said that there's felons that he pull over and there's guns in every car that he searched.
All of
every
them.
single one.
right, and they get them, but then they'll take them away from the people that use them for home protection, and then.
But
the ones that have the guns illegally could just come in and do whatever because they know that people don't have guns inside.
I think that's why I think when they talk about this, because what do you see when they talk about this? What happens? Every store shelf is empty. The same day or the next day.
Sure, yeah.
So I think they talk about this so much to cause that because firearms, guns and ammo is one of the biggest businesses out there. And so what runs this country? The sale of military power. Mm-hmm. Where these politicians putting their puts on? You know what I'm saying? Guns and ammo, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay? So when they say that, because they know they can't just come in and take somebody's gun. You think the American people wouldn't go for that?
Nah.
Bro. They know that.
That was back in 2019. There was a situation where in Virginia, how they were like talking about the Second Amendment. They were talking about how they're gonna ban guns, right? They're gonna take away the guns, and they're gonna send the sheriff people to do it, the cops to do it. The sheriff said that we weren't gonna do it, and then my military members, my buddies next to me, said that if they sent active duty members, we still not gonna uphold that, order. Mm-hmm. So it makes, I feel like it's a losing battle on like taking away guns. Now they're gonna tread carefully by what bus stop to put it on there, what consider SBR, which is a short barrel rifle. So all those tedious things, which is really tedious for gun owners like me and other people to get and own. A lot of people are like, why do you need a short barrel rifle? Why do you need a suppressor, right?
Doesn't matter the reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But
just
hey,
just like golf thinking. Why do you need gloves?
You know what I'm saying? But
Why
I
do you
think,
need
but I
XYZ?
think what they do with the guns is like they do SBR and they do suppressors, but you have to pay a tax stamp.
Exactly.
And so, but here's the thing: do you need an SBR to do what you want to do? No, you can do. It's better to do it with a 16-inch rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't even think about that. A 16-inch barrel is better to do it than an
higher
SBR.
velocity and
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they set all these up to make this extra $250 that you have to pay,
You have to they also keep track of who owns.
and they keep track of it. But this is
And who
like,
wants to know that?
but it's the thing. Like at the end of the day, bro, they know for the most part that you got something. What is it like? This is funny meme. Let me see what happened. This thing made me laugh so much. But y'all can go ahead.
My conspiracy theory brain makes me worry that they're making societies a lot softer than they used to be, and so eventually the majority of Americans will be like, sure, we don't need guns, take them. We don't really need that amendment. And like that's the scariest thing to me, because that's how we became a country in the first place, is fighting against that, and to just let the government slowly but surely make society softer and weaker, where most people are like, we don't need guns.
Yeah, well, there was this funny image I saw of Obama. It wasn't funny, but it was the irony. They're like, he was like, we're sending this country in Africa weapons so that they can defend themselves against their evil government.
Yeah.
Right? And then he was like, who needs these assault weapons in a country? Right? It was like, well, you contradict yourself, right?
Of course.
But what's crazy about guns is I do think about this. Like, I don't want guns to be taken away. But at the same time, I do try to put myself, I can never feel this feeling of the parents that lose your kids to school shootings. I know, like, when they say, why do we need guns? Like damn, well, it's hard to kind of argue with them because they suffer that huge loss.
Yeah.
So I do get them when they get that, but I still am pro-gun. But I think it is kind of, when you're put in that situation where you've been affected by guns, I think it probably definitely does change perspective, at least different on how you look at it.
I mean, how would they still?
But like, do we ban bombs? I mean, we do, but bombs are still used.
Yeah.
Homemade bombs or whatever.
Change the topic.
Well, I'm just saying, stuff still happens. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that something like a school shooting would happen.
Well,
But that's why I think it's a money grab. It's like for business, the whole gun control thing. That's why I think. That's why I say that, because you can still achieve what you want without.
Yeah, I mean, to finish my point, if you ban all guns, you can't do it. Either somebody's still going to bring a gun into school illegally, or they'll just use something else like a homemade bomb. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. If people want to commit harm, they're going to find a way to do it. And that goes back to your mental health you were talking about earlier.
And it's like, Vice President Harris, she was like, I'm going to take away AR-15. I'm like, why?
She said that a whole bunch, and then at the debate, she said she wasn't. I'm a gun owner, and I'm not going to take away guns.
I saw that.
And it's hard when you've got soundbite after soundbite of you saying that you're going to put a ban out there.
I had a friend that interviewed me about gun policy, saying like, why do we need AR-15? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's our rights. It's like, well, shouldn't the military should only have that? I'm like, the military don't have AR-15. Like, why people have military grade weapons? I'm like, no, we don't.
It's just uneducation. They're uneducated because they think that AR stands for assault rifle, and that's not what it stands for at all. Not. And look, you take away the one that looks like if you take away the ARs, well, 30-06s and hunting rifles and stuff, they carry lower capacity, but they operate the exact same way as these ARs. It's just a semi-automatic rifle. It's no different. I don't know.
Yeah, like there's no such thing we can own an automatic rifle unless you are licensed, right, to have those for.
Sure.
And then, like California gun rules, right? Like the pistol grip, it has to be like, form in a weird angle for you to own it. Yes, right.
Like a Glock's handle or something like
that? No,
that?
not a Glock handle. It's literally, how it's like this? Mm-hmm. It's like this, bro.
Weird.
So, and then you can't have butt stocks, and your rifle can't exceed a certain length. It's ridiculous. And it's like, well, all this is for what? We have tax on this, we have restriction on this, yet people are still going to be able to use to do harm. It doesn't stop.
And it's just another thing that the government once the government takes something, they never give it back. So it's just slowly but surely taking away things. That's what has me worried. My conspiracy brain always has me worried about that.
No, it's gonna be interesting how they're gonna do it. But I mean, I feel like people should just educate themselves more on guns or on anything. I feel like if you want to talk about a certain specific topic or anything, you should educate yourself so that way you can form somewhat opinion.
Yeah, it's like martial arts. I mean, the people that you were talking about earlier that were getting mad over a fight or whatever, typically those people don't train. And if they train guns or martial arts, then you
understand.
Yeah, and you're not as scared of it as you were before. So, I don't know. I think this might be going way too far off subject, but I kind of agree with police officers being at least a blue belt. I do like that one.
Yeah, I think that should be a new thing.
Rise, police officer should get paid more. However, their criteria or their standards should be increased.
Right. Which would require funding the police, not defunding. If you want to help, it's going to take more money.
I wish we're able to regulate where our money going to, be able to control it, right? Go to our communities like the police or our school system, whatever, rather than the government choosing where it goes. And I feel like we need to talk about policies that enable us to do that. But I don't know. I don't think the government wants to do that anyways.
Nah, keep us fighting.
All right, let's get into some fun stuff. We gotta go.
Here shortly I do, but if I was saying next question.
So what do you guys think? Because everybody's talking about like trying to lengthen our time on Earth. And they're trying to find ways to do that, and they want to put chips, and they want to do all this, and
chip me up.
But whatever it is, right? They're on their way to trying to lengthen the lifespan and immortality. I believe when it's time for you to go, it don't matter. You're gone. Doesn't matter what they do. They plug you up, whatever it is. When it's your time, you're gone. So what you and I honestly think it's unethical to mess with that. And I think that's gonna cause a disaster. What do you guys think?
I don't want to be here that long. I mean, I'm a Christian and Mo's religious as well. I mean, don't you want to see that afterlife, right? At some point, and you want to just keep staying in this crappy situation for 150 years or however long they end up making you live. When it's my time, I'm ready to go.
Man, I'm gonna get rich or die trying. I'm gonna be in that robot. I'm gonna be a broke robot till I get rich. When you gonna go, sir? Bitch, till I make it, I'm gonna go.
My brother said something interesting. He said that I just want to see how society plays out after my time.
Nukes.
That would be because think about all
what's funny?
War. It's gonna be terrible.
What if
I don't want to be
here's
here
a
for
conspiracy
that.
theory? What if there's no nukes actually?
Yeah.
Like, what if they just using it as a scare tactic? But in the world, there's no nukes at all.
Yeah, that's a little off topic, but I always seem to wonder how many they always throw numbers out there about how many there are, and it's like
I'm pretty sure there's a lot. If we do have it,
you would know better. You're the military guy.
I wouldn't know. My cousin probably know. He works with nukes, but he is everything he says is classified.
Yeah. Mo, what do you think about the topic?
Of immortality?
Yeah,
I think it's crazy, man. I personally don't think it's right. Right? I think when you start messing with life like that, and everybody knows you have an expiration date, and whether you want to believe like
Everything expires.
everything expires, you know what I'm saying? So like whether you want to associate it with religion or I don't know if you're a non-believer, I don't know what you associate it with, but I think when you start tantrum with that kind of stuff, something's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know if it's like you can say like a punishment from God or
sure.
Calamity, some disaster happens. But I think when you start messing with that,
Calamity's already happening. We already got disease and stuff.
but yeah, we already have the disease. We have the cancer from the food they're giving us, right? So now when they start doing all this, what are we gonna get?
But now, what if they say that they can take your conscious and put it in a robot? Now you can't get cancer.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go to that, which was it's not exactly that, but like human cloning.
Yeah.
There's horror movies about that stuff. You know what I mean?
So what do you think? Because they did Dolly the sheep. They cloned Dolly the sheep, right?
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to clone humans? I don't get that.
But aren't they?
Shit, why you want humans to live longer?
Aren't they? I don't know much about the cloning stuff, but aren't the clones sterile? That they can't reproduce? I believe.
I'm assuming.
I think that's part of it. Like
I'm assuming unless you have to like take stuff from what you got and put it into there.
I think once they make the clone cannot make.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to make that system work.
Yeah, I think that I need to look that up, but I felt like that was a part of it. It was like, yeah, we cloned the sheep, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? Infertile, I guess.
Yeah.
Sterile, can't.
I mean, I don't. But
it's barren.
it's weird. You think about it this way, but like how the ball is gonna work, for example. Like, how you gonna put sperm in
Well,
there?
how do you think cloning works? By the way, you didn't like you step into a machine and then a second you just came out.
That's what I imagine.
Well, this is a crazy thing.
No, they take your DNA and you're gonna be grown up as a baby.
Really?
Yes.
Hell no, I ain't down for cloning.
You know what? Let's say, what if you can't have babies? You
And you go,
you
but
and your wife,
have
God forbid,
babies.
right? Okay, let me say, if I can't have babies,
Yeah, don't say me, bro.
yeah, if I can't have babies,
Please, God, give me babies.
I want babies too. Ted. But if I
Step-
can't have babies,
step babies.
what are you? What will you be down to have like a baby of you?
No.
That would be weird. I didn't even think
That'd
about
be
it like
funny.
that.
Will you
Raising,
still love him?
raising yourself.
Yeah, I'm loving myself.
I mean, to be honest, if you had like a clone baby, I mean, you could take all the risks. Like if he dies, like, I'll just give me another clone baby. You know?
Y'all ruthless, bro.
Do you get
Y'all
to,
ruthless.
but do you get to raise it, or does the
Oh, I forgot to feed it. I don't know.
does the lab raise them? You know, you just.
But is it like a robot or is it gonna be like a human?
It's gonna be human. They said it's so advanced. They said like it will be another replica of you.
Nah, I'm not down for it.
Now they say that it may be different. Like your conscious will be different. You know.
But let's
or
say,
like the sorry, go ahead.
let's say they could do like they make a robot of you, right? And like they see all the genes you have because as we get better, we're gonna be able to break the body down.
No, we
But let's say this. They're like, okay, out of your body, we took out all the bad genes, like all the cancer that could happen, and then we just put your head, the brain into the other brain, into the other body.
This ain't the same as that CRISPR thing, right? The CRISPR where they can alter. So there's a thing called CRISPR that they're working on where you can say, I want my baby to come out, 6'2".
yeah. You
Somebody-
can already do that.
They can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are the 4 6?
The 4-6 is the 6-pack, 6 feet, 6
feet.
figures, 6 plus.
6 feet.
No, I'm not down for that. I'm not down for the human cloning or the like the immortality.
Will you be down to genetically
Modify?
alter your modify your kids? I'd be cool if I have the money.
If
So
could, like,
people are
choose-
doing that. Like that's how they get like they have to get like superhuman athletes.
They do.
So, but
I'll
what
have
if you could
two
choose
kids.
like the color of their eyes? If you can say,
People are doing that, bro.
that's what I'm talking about.
Just choose the color of your eyes.
No, I just
If I have the money, I'll hopefully Chris be down too. I'll have 2 babies of my own, and I'll genetically modify my third one.
give him a Sharingan.
He's gonna be a
That's gonna
he's
be-
gonna be a world champion.
That's what I was
jiu-jitsu.
gonna say. That's your experimental tournament baby.
would that be cheating?
I can F that one up though.
How would that be cheating?
No, I wouldn't.
Is it?
Make it.
Just imagine my kid gonna be whooping.
Make it its
Yeah,
own
your
class.
kid ain't whooping my kid's ass, bro.
It's its own.
The third one. The third
He's
one.
not whooping my kid's ass.
This is a
That
rock-
ain't happening.
I feel like in our circle we're gonna have a competition with our kids.
And my kid's gonna whoop your kid's butt all day.
This is a
I
rock-
tell you right now.
It's a Rocky movie playing out. Right
My
now.
kids getting whooped. They're waking up to drilling. Homeschool.
We're gonna be drilling for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. You want to eat? You want to eat? 50 Toriandos, go.
Every time we walk, we're gonna be giving each other side.
Meanwhile, his other 2 kids are in the stroller back there. Ben's got his clone kid pulling the stroller.
Listen. My kid's gonna come out iPad watching jiu-jitsu. That's all they're watching, jiu-jitsu. Playtime,
You already
jiu-jitsu.
slip up. You already
Drilling, jiu-jitsu. Everything,
That's what's
jiu-jitsu.
gonna happen. You already after you're gonna give him an iPad. I ain't gonna introduce my iPad.
Now they're gonna get
he's gonna get a BlackBerry.
Just give him some VHS tapes.
The only thing they're gonna be watching is jiu-jitsu. Your kid ain't whooping my kid, bro. Yeah, I'm just
It'll
telling
be
you.
funny, bro.
It ain't gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny for me, cause I'm gonna eat my popcorn. Go get him, son.
This is crazy. You saw that BlackRock, that company is buying all the real estate, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They recently, this goes to Gene. They recently bought out, I think, Ancestry.com. So they have the record on millions and millions of people on their DNA.
I saw that. I wonder what's gonna go on. And hey,
That's so sketchy.
who owns BlackRock?
Disney. No, I don't know.
That's what I do agree.
It's Canadians.
I do agree to Jill.
wink.
That's what we talking about the old topic.
Lord.
What do y'all think about? I think coming up with a lot of topics now. The concept of universal basic assets.
What is that? I heard of basic income.
Housing, education, and healthcare. Well, income, housing, education.
I think maybe
Given to everybody.
I think education you could sell for that. Like you can make a good argument. Houses, man, is gonna be, I don't know about houses. You know, I think when you work for your house, like that's something that gives you pride. Like, man, I've earned this. I did this for myself. It gives you a goal. Education, I mean, I think the U.S. pays for Israel's education. You know, so we can't pay for our education.
I just think it'll zap innovation. You know, if you got a roof over your head and you don't have to work for it, then who cares?
Exactly.
And education, totally agree. Up until like you want to be a surgeon or something crazy, then I'd kind of want those people to work for it and not have it for free. Because then I think you'd wind up with like some really crappy surgeons working on you. You know.
I don't know, because I think about that. I've thought about that, right? Like I used to. That's kind of, like, I don't know. I guess I still am. Like,
I did papers on this.
you. There's different ways to think about it. Now, to pay for somebody's education and go do underwater basket weaving, no. But if you think about like even surgeons, right? For example, surgeons or engineers or somebody that's gonna be a big asset to the country. Now, in one hand, if you give it to them, then they may not work hard for it, so they may not be as good of a surgeon, right? Is that what you're getting to?
I think it maybe extend. So you go to 18 years old, senior in high school, and you graduate, and then it's up to you past that to go to college or go into a trade or whatever. I say extend that maybe 2 more years. You graduate senior year, and then you get 2 years of a trade school or 2 years of towards an associate degree, and because that's the time where you're trying to figure out what you want to do anyways. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if you want to be a surgeon, I think that there should be kind of like gun laws. There should be strict criteria for you to go and do that. I think that everybody should have a shot, but I don't want it to go by the wayside as far as like we've lowered the standards. We'll let everybody go to be a doctor or an engineer or something. I think you could run into buildings falling down.
I can see that, but I think if they stay strict on the grading and stuff, maybe it can help. Like, I'm not saying I'm necessarily down for it all the way, but I'm thinking like maybe if you give them an opportunity for big things, engineering, things that we need, right? Maybe we can create a better country. Because there's people out there that are intelligent that can't afford to go to school.
Sure.
So that's what I think about sometimes. Like maybe, because I mean, China, do they have to pay for school?
I don't know. I probably.
Or Japan?
I don't know.
I wonder, like,
I know.
because I'm like, man, if you pay for it, like in that
France, you
asset, huh?
In France, you don't.
You know, how educated, we got to look at how, like, what is the outcome?
It's not as expensive.
So that's what I think about. Like, maybe if we pay for it for certain things and they still have the hard grading skill, like, yeah, you didn't work hard to go to engineering school or whatever, but would it pay off in the long term for the country? I don't know.
But I feel like after 18, you're wanting to go to college, so it's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by choice, I'm saying. But if you go, like, you'd be more enticed to go if it's paid for. But would it be a benefit to the country? That's what I'm asking. Like, if we did that, would we see a big change in our country?
Not really. Because in my opinion, I feel like you went to college too. There's a lot of people who's irresponsible.
I agree.
Yeah, they take them in their adolescent.
Take it for granted.
They take them in their adolescent years and they shove them out into a $100,000 degree and then ask them to pay that back.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of some BS.
Yeah, society.
But I went to college and I had a scholarship, so I don't really have a leg to stand on. But looking back, I'm kind of like I didn't really need my degree. I just needed life experience. But that's not the same for a person that wants to be a doctor or a surgeon or whatever.
Exactly.
You need that education, that further education to do that. So I don't know if it's a money thing, make it free. But definitely, like Mo is saying, make it difficult to get through so that the best people make it into their spots.
100%. I think education will definitely help. I mean, if you look at the Indian community, I think 80% of them have a bachelor's or a master's, something like that. But the Indians got money. They're actually the most wealthy demographic in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Above Asian?
Yeah, above Asians. I know, like, people from Myanmar and Sri Lanka got a lot of money, but they say the Indians they're the most successful right now.
Someone actually told me how they they run things. I don't know if I should be saying this, but they said that they put all their money. So let's say this group of 5 Indian, they put all their money together and they buy this thing, and that Indian owns it, and they constantly do that.
But yeah, I mean, I think when people invest in education, but I also agree, like college isn't everything, you know. And you've said a lot before, Mo. Like college is not everything. I think they should. I think, you know what? I think they should definitely be free. Yeah. It's like you said, like doctors, engineers, scientists that could benefit the advancement of the society. Now you say if you out here sponsoring gender studies, what good are you gonna get out of gender studies?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe if they did a study with like you can put that down, cut that one off, put that one down. But
Which is that one?
maybe if they did like I'm sure they have the. I'm sure, yeah, that's good. I'm sure they have like educated people to the point where they can figure out what the country needs. You know what I'm saying? And they can say maybe we do need gender studies. I don't know. You know, whatever it is, we need X amount of jobs in each of these positions. We're lacking in each of these positions. And this is, I just went down another rabbit hole. Is we need X amount of job in each of these positions. Do we fill them with only American people? I'm saying, like, we need X amount of jobs in each of these positions so we can educate American people and give them these jobs.
What do you mean?
Is that fair?
People? Just Americans?
Just Americans.
So like if you're
So you're born and raised here.
What if you're a legal resident?
Legal?
Yeah.
Then I mean I guess you're legal. Whatever, if the country recognizes it as legal, then you're legal.
I mean, I think,
but that would defeat the purpose of how America is a diverse country. No.
No, because you have to be legal, so you can't necessarily take the job unless you become legal.
Well, what about working visa?
Well, shit. Maybe do we need working visas with American people not having jobs? I'm just saying, what if? I'm just talking what if now.
I mean, I think that I think when people make the argument like, "Oh, these immigrants taking their jobs," I think that I think people full of it, bro. People say they love capitalism, right? I mean, they're taking the fudge in. I'm Hispanic, but they're taking the fudge and cleaning the toilet bowl job.
So don't get me wrong.
No.
That statement actually come to an extent. There, Indians people for under a Biden administration, he's allowing a lot of Indians workers to come over and work for computer science. And my friend is like having a difficult time finding him because there's no spot for him because of that. Yeah.
Is that why there's been so much butter chicken places lately? I'm joking.
But
butter chicken.
Look.
I ain't like to eat it.
No, listen. So when they say listen, bro. So they're saying immigrants taking jobs, right? And a lot of people are not gonna like when I say this. I'm trying to calculate how I say it. What I'm saying, like they're taking jobs, and nobody's really doing the position. Like when you look at like a construction, or you look at landscaping, or you look at anything really in that kind of field, even like electricians now, or plumbing, or HVAC. Like you see like an American, and then you see like 10 or 15 Latinos, right? That's what we see. Now, you see a crew of Americans. Like I was talking to a roofer, and like, man, you see a roofer, and you probably told me this story. I don't know who told me, but like American roofers and then immigrant roofers were Latinos. We don't know if they're illegal. I'm just saying they're immigrants, right? The immigrants will knock that roof off, knock it out in 1 or 2 days, and the Americans will be on it in a week or 2 weeks.
I saw it firsthand.
You know what I'm saying? And I've seen this also firsthand. So, like, are they taking the job, or are you just being lazy, and now you're blaming it because they're moving at a faster pace and they're willing to do more work? They're willing to put output more. You know?
Yep.
And who am I going to hire?
Yeah.
All Americans are usually going to hire, not all, most Americans will hire an immigrant. It's a little cheaper. And now some of them do bad jobs, but a lot of them are very good now, landscaping. They're very good at it now. Mm-hmm. They're still cheaper. They can still do a hell of a job. They can construction. They can do a hell of a job. Gonna be cheaper. Whatever it is gonna be cheaper. Now, are you gonna be upset because of this? Because they're doing it cheaper, or they're doing it more or better than you? You can't be upset.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
agree.
You can't be upset. Like I saw Latinos.
market.
Yeah, that's it. It's free market. I saw Latinos working out in the rain a couple months ago, storming, still doing mulching.
Damn.
You ain't find an American doing that. You ain't, bro. Just plain and simple. You not. We feel sprinkles. We running in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just being honest with you.
Is that why you didn't run yesterday?
There's a funny joke. It was this guy said it was a comedian. It's a joke from a comedian, so this joke came from him, not from me. He said it was like he said this lady was like this guy was like thank God for like Mexican labor, right? He was like that way our salads are $15. This lady was like, we don't need the Mexicans. We should get white people to do it. You're like, man, you think white people are gonna work in the field? You were like my I buy my food at Whole Foods. Like white people pick the food. So I'm like, white people do not pick foods, lady. You're like, who are we gonna get to work? Like the white people, their skin is gonna get burnt, right? And they're taller than the average Hispanic. So when they bend down, their back hurts more, and so making a bad worker. And so over time,
That's all valid points.
and it's true, right? And the lady was like, well, we get black people to do it, right? And this dude bust out laughing. He was like, you gonna get black people to do it? And then black people got offended. Like, no, hold on. This is what I mean. He was like, if you think you're gonna get black people back to the same fields they were 400 years ago, you are retarded, lady. And who's gonna work the jobs? Only the Hispanics and not just the Hispanics, the immigrants that really want the job and really need the job, they'll do it. And so people are taking jobs that and I thought about this today. Like I was getting my hair cut by a Guatemalan. I don't know if he was an immigrant or not, but I was thinking, okay, let's say this dude is an immigrant. He's cutting my hair. Okay, let's say there's more immigrants, right? So he's cutting my hair. He's providing a service. He's adding to the economy. He's adding value to the economy. So now there's more people to consume. There's more people to sell to. So this is all good, This.
Hey, bro, listen. It look like a Guatemalan cut your hair.
Hey, bro.
It look clean, good.
Can I zoom in? I look clean as hell. Hey, it was a $20 haircut. You can't beat that.
Damn.
That's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
I paid for what, 25 per month?
Yeah.
30?
All right, let's get into some what ifs. We'll close it out with what ifs. I don't know how many what ifs we're gonna do, but I have a lot of what ifs. What if you could live on another planet?
Yeah.
I mean, what is a flight time to that, bro? I don't think I'm doing it.
Light years?
I don't think I'm doing it. Like flight time going to another planet, bro. Me being stuck in a space shuttle, or
I mean, like, is everything safe? We're not like,
I don't care if it's safe or not, bro. I get stuck in a plane for too long. I don't know what's gonna happen.
bro, you're gonna be in deep sleep, man. It's gonna be like minutes.
No.
Yes.
You remember that flight to Taiwan?
Bro.
16 effing hours.
Yes, and you slept literally 90% of that thing.
I slept 12 hours.
Yeah.
Is that 9%?
Yeah. Yes, bro. That's 90% at least.
I slept 12 hours on that flight.
I know.
I was gone. I was gone.
Were you able to rest though? Or you just like, when you sleep and you
I
wake
was
up,
gone.
like, man,
Yeah,
I kind of rest.
He was on my shoulder and everything.
Nah. Don't do
I got
that.
receipts.
No, you don't. Don't do that. Don't play with me. We ain't doing that. I was gone for 12 whole
It's
hours.
really unfiltered podcast.
Bro, I was gone, like knocked out. But we stayed. So what we did is we landed in Chicago early. We stayed out eating. All we did was eat and walk. We ate so much to the end. We ate so much dinner. Went to the Arab restaurant. So stuffed, like beyond measure. By the time I got in the plane, I was gone. Literally, cause the plane took off like 12:30 midnight. So once I got on the plane, full belly, cold on the plane, threw my hoodie on, my sharpen your sword hoodie. Maybe border hoodie probably. No, sharpen your sword, I think. Gone.
That's a good strategy to get through the flight.
But that's what I do. I stay, if it's a late flight like that, I'll stay up all day and I'll eat a lot. Get on a plane, I'll be knocked out.
Dang. Honestly, I wouldn't want to go to another planet. I want to travel this world before I start going to the other world,
That's how I am. I don't think I can go to a different planet, bro. What if the internet disappeared overnight?
I think it would be chaos.
What if they were like, hey, we're cutting technology off. Just bam. Damn, well, they're talking about doing that actually. But say that happens, and we're done. No more. Like you ain't no FaceTime. There ain't no text message. There ain't no phone calls. Imagine that.
We can still use our cards, right?
You're what?
Cars.
I mean, you got gas or diesel.
How are you gonna be able to pump all that without electricity and technology?
What?
Like make the systems work.
Did I say no electricity?
Or you said no. Oh, you said no internet, right?
There's no internet. No internet, no phones. Like old school. Like you have to do the, what is it called? The little
That'll be fun.
Telegram.
telegram, or send a little dove with a letter. Send a love letter to your girl.
Could you imagine you checking your homeboy and like just sending doves?
Listen. I love you guys. I ain't sending no doves to you.
Bruh.
I'll send it to a girl now. Like, I ain't sending it to you guys.
Bruh, this man's a simp, man.
No, like I'm sending you love letters. Come on.
Well, ain't nobody saying about anything about sending love letter, but sometimes it's good.
A dove carrying a letter, that's a love letter.
No, it's not, bro.
Now you send a hawk or eagle carrying a hawk carrying, that's different. I'll send you a hawk.
Could you imagine being a salesman and like using doves?
Bro.
People gonna be like, oh, here comes this goddamn eagle again. Hey, this is Gio. Did you get my message? But I think I don't know. Honestly, like
That'd be crazy times. We're not used to that. That'd be crazy.
have to look through encyclopedias and phone books.
Imagine we can't text each other about work until we see each other.
You know what's crazy? How people used to have like dates to be like, yeah, let's go on a date. We're gonna meet at so and so place at this hour.
Yeah.
You can't even check on them like, hey, are you on your way?
Bro, honestly, knowing me, I'll be stressed out. Not knowing where they are, I'll be stressed out. You have to wait 30, 40 minutes or an hour. I'll be stressed out.
You know what's crazy? That world is gone. You'll never experience that world again. At least not in the U.S.
At least we don't think.
Well, yeah.
There's always a collapse, bro. Every society has collapsed. Every great society has collapsed.
Yeah, well, I hope I don't get to. I'm like, I would, you know, that era where they had like those old Impalas and stuff, like where like the drive-through was a thing people used to go to, like the Sonic drive-through and stuff, and you're riding and your car's convertible, and there's you got people in the back, like just, I wish I could have experienced that life. It looks like chill, simple times. Take out Susie to the prom.
Susie? You know? Who's Susie?
It's just like the stereotypical name they use in the movies. I don't know, Susie.
Why you changed it to me? I just look at
Y'all got any what ifs?
Damn, that was a really good one, but I should write it down. Like super good one.
I got one.
Oh,
Let's go. You do.
what if you're able to meet God, but your family has to die? What if you meet the Father himself?
You're ugly. Man. Listen, this is what I think. You know, some people say they seen like God in their dreams or they have vision and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I believe if God wanted me to see him, then if it's going to be at the cost of my family, then it's going to happen. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's like, your family's gone, you get to see me. You know what I'm saying?
God is unjust.
And I don't want to say anything like that goes against the religion, our religion, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna stop right. I don't want to say nothing crazy. So I don't want to say nothing wrong. But like I said, if God wants me to see him, then it's gonna happen regardless. That's what I think.
That's crazy. You have that much faith in them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Would you guys rather, let's say this, either you go to heaven
Oh
or your whole family goes to heaven? Like if you don't go to, you get to burning forever and ever, never.
I don't know. Like I don't. But my thing is like I don't know if I can answer this with religion. Like, I'm not super religious. I just don't know if I can answer that. If it's right for me to answer it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's say hypothetically speaking.
I don't know, but hypothetically, we still answering it. This is what I would say. This is what I would say, and I guess you'll get the answer from it. I would like to think I'm a selfless person. We all would like to think so. But I think me is certain things that would happen that I would not be able to live with myself if I witnessed it. If I picked myself over family. You know what I mean? So I would pick my family over everything. And you're talking about my whole family compared to one person? I'm going to pick my family over everything.
Your country has either your country died from a plague or your family.
Shit.
Now, are you a family man or are you a country man?
Well, here's the thing. People die for their country. I'll die for my country. I will, but I mean...
What, America?
Yeah. So listen, let me clarify something. I want to clarify something. You forget I was born and raised there, right?
I know you were born and raised here.
So I want people that I don't look like I'm born and raised here, but I was born and raised in Memphis, guys.
You were born in Memphis?
Yeah.
Really, Memphis?
Yeah, cuz.
He's American as they come.
Memphis, man.
He's from the hood for real.
So, no, I like to tell people I'm American Palestinian. You know, I would die for my countries, but I also tell people like I'm not no hero, trying to be no hero. But you die as a man. I think it's part of your character. As a man, you die standing for what's right.
Yep.
You fight evil at all costs.
Yeah.
If it costs your life, it costs your life. I got what if that I always ask people this. You're married, you have kids.
Ah, shit.
Okay? Will you go die for something knowing that guaranteed you are going to die? There's no way out of it. You are going to die no matter what. Will you do it? Knowing you got a wife and kids. Not a girlfriend, a wife and kids.
I'm not doing it. My family needs somebody to be there.
I've asked you this before, I think.
Anyway, somebody else is gonna raise your family.
I think you did ask. Maybe not in this context. Maybe like if the military asked me to come back, and I was like, "What would you do? You would leave Chris and your family?" And I tell you no. But if you put it in the context of where you're like fighting for something right against the unjust, I might. It's like a 60-40.
Yeah.
But I'm leaning towards of like doing it. Because it's like
What is the saying? Fight for something worth dying for, or live for something that's nothing, or something like that. Stand for something that's nothing, or something like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So it's worth dying for something standing for. Mm-hmm. So I would like to think the same as you. But it's like wife and kids, man, that's tough. But I would hope, I mean, obviously it's not a good ending. Mm-hmm. Obviously, both ways.
I mean, you basically gave us an ultimatum. You're gonna die.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
but if
wait,
you...
So what's the point of going then?
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Do we know the outcome yet or no?
No, you know the outcome. You're dead, bro. You're gonna die.
Well, I'm talking about
a matter of time.
Of the war. Are we gonna win?
You don't know that. But that's not, when you fight for something, you don't fight just because you know it's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? You don't fight for that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as a man, you know, when you fight for something like, yeah, it's gonna cost me my life, but I'm gonna fight for this because I know this is right.
I mean, because it will set example down the line, I suppose. You know, your kids and you would like watch you and grow up.
Which is true. But is it fair to your wife and kids? Now that's the second part of the question. Like, okay, I stood for this and I would die for this and I died for this. Right? And I left them behind. But was it fair and selfish of me to do that?
I think it's a risk.
I think you're selfish.
You think it's selfish?
Because who's gonna protect and provide for your family now?
I mean, I would hope I have that lined up.
Well, who's gonna protect you and your family without a front line?
Well, that's very true as well.
You know, let's say every man has that same logic. Not saying it's wrong or bad, right? But every man have that logic. Who's gonna fight in the front line? Their front line is just gonna be, they're just gonna come through us, and we're gonna fight where our family and kids are. Where if in that sense, if we fight in the front line, we have the chance of protecting our wife and kids without any harm. But if we bring them to the battlefield,
That's very true. That's very true. I didn't think about it like that. I think it's tough, you know?
It is tough.
I think-
I don't want to leave them too.
I think that one of the best ways, like appreciation. This is stuff that gets you that gets me emotional. It's like it was talking about World War II, right? And they went to the shores like 50 years later, the shores of Normandy when the invasion into France started. D-Day. And they pretty much said like these are men that fought and gave their life for freedoms they will never see. And I was like, damn, imagine that's crazy, bro. You going to die for stuff you will not receive.
A real man. Real warrior, right?
Yeah.
Real warrior, real men.
Respectable.
But think about it in the grand scheme of things. But think about it in the grand scheme of things, right? This is also like if you look at the galaxies, right? And then you stumble upon Earth, like you're a Martian, and you see this human being, like he died, right? And then you think about it in the grand scheme. You're not a human. You're like, why did you die, bro? What did you die for?
Dang.
You were only here once on Earth, and you gave your life up. Was it worth it? You know? They're like, damn, in the grand scheme of things, am I in the right? Is what I'm doing worth it?
It's like why are you attached to all these things too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same concept of as a monk, where you not attract, but
You shouldn't be attached to the
yeah,
life.
yeah, even with family.
Islam is the same way.
I'm like,
Not with family, but in regards of enjoying the life, like cars and this. We're not here for that.
yeah.
We're not here for that. You know?
But the monk is. They say that if you want to reach true alignment, you cut everything off. Nothing should like bother you. And then once you're able to do that, that's when you're able to be mature and gain the wisdom to reach it. And I'm like, I ain't that far ahead.
That's crazy mentality, you know? Because I mean, you're detached from everything, so nothing can harm you no more. I don't know, man. I do think it takes a very brave man to give their life up.
I mean, some can say that like if all men go to the front line, who's gonna protect the ladies and the kids back here? You know, so I feel like there should be a balance of both.
That's true. I mean, who's going to continue society once the war's over?
That's true. They say that if you're a firstborn child, you're not gonna be able to get drafted.
Why for firstborn?
Because then
Shit, I'm secondborn.
Because if you die,
I had to look.
no, I think it's you're only born. You're the only child.
No, it's firstborn.
Why firstborn?
What I think it's because
The secondborn is a wild one, the one that can achieve shit. Is it true? It's true.
you know they say the first
That's serious. The secondborn is the one that's really like the one that gets shit done.
I don't know why it's the firstborn. Actually, we should check that. That's interesting.
I think it's because like they say that the father's lineage is through the firstborn.
Yeah,
So if
it's
he
always
dies,
the firstborn.
his lineage dies.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So shit, second, third child ain't nothing, man. We ain't nothing.
No, but I know that like there's statistics that say, like studies say that the firstborn is always the most intelligent out of all of them, all the kids.
But the secondborn, there's a stat on that too.
They say the secondborn is the most handsome out of all the brothers.
I know that.
What about the third one? What third one?
They say third one got the biggest schlong.
He's supposed to say the opposite of that, bro.
Hey, don't get my head too big here, Gio.
We all know. We all know, man. Hey, don't get too loud now.
Hey, what happened on the mat? Stay on the mat.
Oh man, what other what ifs we got? We need something good, man. Like something, like Ben said, something juicy.
What if people can read your mind?
Oh, I had that one actually. I don't know, because sometimes you want somebody to read your mind, and sometimes I'm like, bro, you don't want to think what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think 99% of the time you don't want to think what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's
You don't want to know what I'm
divide
thinking.
the price.
I say no.
I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking about some chocolate ice cream, whipped cream.
Hey, cut. Cut.
I don't know what Gio thinking.
I'm lost.
Gio think about Susie.
F Susie. Susie ain't done nothing for me.
Hey, just tell her skip at 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh man. Nah, I'm gonna say no, bro. I don't want you knowing what I'm thinking.
I think everybody would say no.
But do
who
you-
would want to say yes?
But let's say this, do you think the world will be a more honest place if you know where everybody stands?
I think the world be a more
Sure.
upset place.
It's true. There's only one person who knows everything, right? It's the man upstairs.
You're ugly. You don't even believe in God, do you?
No.
He's so ugly.
I like to use a lot of reference from it.
This is what I asked ChatGPT. This part's scary. So it said, I said, give me a controversy. What if? It said, what if it was discovered that a highly advanced AI could perfectly predict human behavior and future events, but only way to access its predictions requires surrendering personal privacy and autonomy?
No.
First of all, it's like, why the hell are you talking about a highly advanced AI? Like, you're talking about yourself right now,
Yeah.
running the world. But this other one was, it's funny, we kind of talked about it. It said, what if it was revealed that a secret society of the world elite had been using advanced technology to manipulate the global events? It's pretty much saying, would you expose them, but it comes at the sacrifice that society will be destroyed? Because society will
Go on,
uproar.
chaos.
Yeah, it'll be chaos.
Damn.
You expose the truth, but it creates chaos.
Damn. That's true.
I don't know, man.
I'll milk it.
Oh, let's say this.
Chaos, man, it's crazy because once you go in chaos, you have small groups. And once you think about back then, like the Viking era, and then just people who just raid.
So what was the two options? Chaos and what else?
So either you can expose the elites, right? And that's going to lead to chaos. Or you do not expose elites and they keep...
Chaos.
There you go.
Chaos.
I know this one.
I think it's only a matter of time though before that happens.
Why?
I think it's only a matter of time.
But why would you willing
think
to
we're-
just risk
I
your
think we're still
safety,
too
your
asleep.
family's safety?
Because I mean, it's for the sake of the country. It's not for you. It's for the sake of the country. You want an old America, like you want the great America that we used to have in all aspects. Like America is.
I don't think
America's still the greatest. But for us to go, you're talking about like old civilization chaos. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like tribes and everybody's all over the place by themselves. It may be selfish to think this way, but for the greater cause of the country, I'll put that clause in. For the greater cause of the country, I'll say chaos.
I agree.
Now
Yeah,
it's
man.
better. It's up to you to be sufficient, self-sufficient.
And this is the thing. It's going to lead to this. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think y'all grasp the understanding of
No, I
there's
grasp it.
extremists out there, and you're willing to sacrifice innocent people just because you want and you think that you can handle the chaos that comes afterwards.
I'm not saying I can handle it. I
I'm
want to
not
hope.
saying-
I want to hope at least we
But
get. I want to
there's
hope we
people-
got soldiers around. Not no
Who's
fruity
gonna control
guys.
who's gonna control the soldiers? Nobody's gonna.
There ain't.
do
It's
so.
not going to be controlled. Just go find your own piece of land, set up, and be there.
Yeah.
Live your own life.
It's not that
gonna be-
simple.
I know it's not that simple. It's gonna be kill, be killed.
Disrupt.
But are you gonna live the same life of having the
don't
United
think
States be what it is, or do
mean,
we
in
just
the sacrifice
or
of
do we
life.
just disrupt the whole system? It disrupts the whole system and it fixes itself because every great society falls.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. You think they didn't think the Romans were gonna fall?
Inevitably.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, but this, I thought about this what if. Okay, what if let's say, what if you knew this guy was gonna shoot the president, right? And you believe in your whole heart that this guy is going to destroy the country. Like, this person will be the downfall of us, right? And you can snitch on the shooter, or you could take matters into your own hand. You're like, I think that's the better decision for this country.
I'm a snitch.
You gonna snitch?
I'm a snitch.
What if it was like Hitler?
We ain't talking about Hitler. We talking about the president of the U.S.
No, we talking about just
Nah.
president of your country,
Listen,
bro.
I'm gonna say this: as long as the president of the United States, I'm snitching, cuz.
For the record books, I'm snitching.
I'm just saying. If it's somebody against the president of the United States, I'm snitching.
Let's say it was like we're just in the Roman back in the days.
Now we in a Roman back then.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
They got an arch. They got an archer right there. He right there.
What's it, Archie?
I think I'll honestly, and you feel like it's your duty, right? Your duty as a countryman for the better of your country. I like to think that I would do what's best for the country, but I don't know.
Oh, that's the whole point of the Civil War. You guys watched that movie?
I didn't watch it. Is it good?
I watched it. It was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, one guy, the president, he exceeded his terms, and people disagree, and they form. Because I confused the hell out of me watching. I'm like, well, who's on side with who, and like who's fighting? Like I don't get what's the reason they're fighting for. And then I YouTube it, and they explain it. This president, he exceeded his terms, and then Texas and California, which considered the Western force, trying to take him out and stuff like that. And there's people who's loyal supporters, so that's where they're going against. So it's a bunch of news guys, people who trying to record everything, which is I thought would be something different, but I mean I guess
it followed journalists.
Yeah, to follow the
It
journalists.
was a horrific movie. It was a horrific movie. Don't even waste your time watching it. Horrific. But I don't know, man. I think it's like I think about this. I think this position is very hard. Like, think about it. There's this government, right? And not us, hypothetically. This government, and you feel like this government will destroy your country. Do you continue with your government, or do you join another like revolutionary group who you believe will be better for your government? What do you think?
You asking questions that we shouldn't even be talking about, cuz.
What do you think as a patriot you should do?
I'm gonna just be I'm gonna be the host and just listen to you guys.
Just be a neutral.
I'm gonna be a neutral.
You gonna be Switzerland?
I'll be a neutral, bro, man. Unless that's why it's so hard nowadays to pick which side is justifiable, right? There's no reason for us to like.
I think there's always gonna be somebody that doesn't agree.
Yeah.
But here's what I would say. I will be happy. I think I would be happier living in a world where I can just live on the farm and not give a damn about what's going on. I'll find a way to be self-sufficient. I will be happier doing that. Like I talked about this on podcast before, but I posted there was this ranch in Colorado for sale. It was a few hundred acres and it had like a old town in it, like a saloon, like the buildings, everything. And I was like, bro, I'd be willing to buy that and build it out, build the town out, have like a restaurant, have a barber, have a jiu-jitsu school, like put things in there that can benefit us. And we all live in there. We'll build like a neighborhood garden, like a town garden. We'll put crops for the town, for the people. We all input. We'll have a teacher that teaches, We have our own banking system. We'll have all that for ourselves. I'll be willing to do that, and nobody.
Mo's gonna be the mayor.
That's a shit show.
I'll be the mayor. I have a 6-shooter right here.
There's actually
cowboy boots.
You can do that.
What you doing
actually
there?
buy a town. It's like $9 million.
What you doing if Ben start running for mayor too?
Who?
You start running for mayor in town.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We'll have a
I'm gonna be his bodyguard rather than the mayor.
Might have a mayor assassination in there.
No. See, now you're talking about what's happening in other places, right? So like, I don't even care to be the leader. I honestly, I won't. I would just say, I don't care to be a leader. I'm not the one to say I'm gonna be the leader. No, we will have a true democracy, and we'll let the people choose.
People don't say it's rigged.
Now, what if you feel like the people are retarded and they don't know what's best for them?
But we ain't gonna have retarded people in our town. Because if you're retarded, you can't be part of our town.
That's true. There it is. Discrimination already.
And I don't mean guys. I don't mean retarded like
Mentally ill.
mentally ill. I'm talking about I'm just using it as a word.
As
It's
goofy.
a figurative expression.
Yeah, just ignorant.
Figurative.
But it would be like, if I build the town, that's gonna be our people. The people that I want part of it. You act like I'm gonna just open it up. Hey guys, welcome to Mo's town.
How are you gonna control people?
It's gonna be people, like-minded people that are willing to listen.
You know the only way to make that work is you gotta have a cult. It has to be a cult. Everybody has to be under the same
so many
values.
code out there, bro. It's crazy.
No, I said cult.
Yeah, cult.
Oh, I think you said cold.
No, cult.
Yeah, you gotta have it's gotta be a cult.
Yeah, but here's the truth. Cult is a different definition to cults,
We
right?
should visit the most racist town.
You have extreme cults and you have just cults like a following. People want to call it a cult. I don't think it's a cult necessarily. Is it cult mentality? Maybe some aspects. But also, if you're a good leader, most people are going to follow your lead. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good leader, most people are going to follow your lead. Now, some people are going to call it culty. No, you're just being a good leader. You're being a servant to the people. If you be a true leader by serving the people, they love you.
That's very true.
You know, so you can make it work, and you be very selective on who comes in. Now, the truth is, some people are like, Mo, I thought we were friends. Yeah, but we weren't that good friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have some hurt feelings because everybody thinks you're friends until they don't get the invitation. Now you have a problem with that person. You know what I mean? Then that person may want to come and try to do an old style gunsling shootout in the middle of town. You know,
Why don't you just open it up to people?
No, because you're gonna have a fall eventually because unhealthy people, bad people come in, they make it a cancer in the society, and it grows and it grows and it eventually falls.
Different
But
ideologies.
then you have people.
But if I buy the land, you ain't just coming in, bro. If I buy the town, I'm choosing who comes in.
Yo, I just thought about this. What if, let's say, think about all your dreams and aspirations, right? You can achieve all your dreams and aspirations, but you lost your morality, or you do not achieve what you want to achieve. You live in a trailer park. You ride in the public transportation, but you still have your decency.
I'll live under a tree.
You ain't gonna never get see all the things you want to see.
I'm fine with that.
That's crazy. Can you wrap your head around that? All the stuff you aspire to be.
You know, you know what the crazy thing is? I do talk to myself about that. I always said it. I've talked to you before. Like if I lose everything, I'll be fine. I would try to rebuild it. But if I was to choose one over the other, my backbone, my dignity, or whatever I want, I'm gonna pick my backbone. Because if you, as a man, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for it.
For everything.
For everything. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything.
100%.
You'll fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being a man also. Like, and some people may say like, Mo, you're full of it. And like, I'm not attached to the world. I want a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. That's part of being human. But for me to have money and me have cars, me have houses, me have the ranch, me have whatever it is, but I'm a dirty, slimy piece of crap. Don't give me none of it. I talk to myself at least, if not every day, at least 4 or 5 days out of the week, 7 days a week about that. I talk to myself in my head. Like, God, when I make it to that point one day where I'm well off, I'm not going to be a different person. I'll be a different person in being better and doing more for the better, but I'm not going to let it change me the other way. I have a talk with myself because that's the biggest fear that I will have. You know? What do you think? You get to do whatever you want. You get everything you want in the world. Everything.
See Susan?
I get a low rider in Susie?
Yeah.
No, I think at the end of the day, I think it's very hard. I like to think that I will be moral enough to not corrupt myself. That things will not corrupt me. Because if not, then I'm no better than all these politicians I talk about.
What would corrupt you? What it takes?
I think for a human being, you corrupt them with shiny things.
Lady in a red dress.
You corrupt
Which
them.
one though? What would you be corrupt? Like, okay, if this happened, I will be corrupted. If something happened, this would.
I think a big temptation would be like generational wealth, like knowing like I'll take care of all my people. That would be a big like motherfucking like temptation. Like dang, like what I could take that because I'm going to help all the people that I love, but I'm sacrificing my soul.
Yeah.
I think if you think about it, like for me, like you think like man, everybody gonna be set in your life, like your nephews and all this stuff. Nobody got to worry about having to work, and they never got to have stress of lack of money. I'm like, damn. That had me thinking, but I like to think that I'll reject that. I like to think that I'll be like, no, I can do it myself. I don't need to sell my soul. But you never know, right?
But he asked, what would corrupt you?
Oh, what would corrupt me? I
Like, what would be your like your what is it? What is the word?
Kryptonite.
Your kryptonite. What's the kryptonite that's gonna just you would do whatever?
Well, I don't know what that would be, and it's never been presented to me. I would know, like I said, like that. If you present me that, like they'll have me thinking. I don't know if it'll corrupt me, but outside of that, I don't know what else really.
I think family.
What? Family what?
Like using my family as hostage. Since if they can survive or if like they would do better off, you have to do X, Y, Z. I'll do that.
Would you suck a lollipop to save your family?
Yeah.
You have to go there.
No hesitation. Tell me how you want it.
All right, next one. Do we have any more?
Mo, what about you?
We have any more?
Mo.
We have any more? G?
I think I have one more. Let's say this. What if? Let's do a would you rather. Okay, would you rather have 10 million cash right now, or go back 10 years of your life? Go back to the start at 10 years with everything you know right now. Starting off at 10 years old.
$10 million.
10 million?
10 million, because I don't want to go back. Because I don't think that's... Are we putting religion and everything aside?
I guess so. Yeah.
Will we still end up knowing the same people?
You still have... Well, let's say this.
Will you still get to experience the same people? Is that what you just said?
You dumbass. No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, well, let's say this. You have all the knowledge that you know.
Hold on. Maybe you're onto something.
A 10-year-old having all these thoughts. No, that you like all the wisdom is like boiled down and you know it.
But I won't know you guys.
No,
I would have never crossed paths with you.
No, you lost all that.
What?
I'll take 10 million.
10 million?
But how, if you don't know anybody, if you forget anybody, how will you retain that knowledge you know now?
No, but let's say you just know the lesson. It's in your mind. It's kind of like textbook.
But would I ever know that I've met you guys before?
No.
I wouldn't even know y'all even existed.
No, you're just a really smart 10-year-old. A very wise 10-year-old.
No, because I think some of the reasons why I'm here today is because of the people that I met. The wisdom I have is because of the people I met.
But let's say you have that wisdom.
Yeah, but I think some of the experiences I still want to experience.
Would the people forget about you though?
Yeah, they'll never know about you.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it because I feel like people who meet each other, it's also a blessing for each other's life. Mm-hmm. So if I take away from that, then it's unfair and unjust. Because you know, when I met you, you blessed me, right? So
call me Jesus. Call me Jesus.
Y'all play too much religion, bro.
I bless this goddamn man.
Y'all play way too much religion. I'm scared to play like that. I'm not.
Why? If you have so much faith, though, you should be.
I have so much faith that you don't play with that. Like I feel like you can get punished for it.
I repent.
Why will you be so serious?
Yeah, but I don't think.
Why the guy upstairs be so serious, bro? Like, tell him to come downstairs sometime.
This guy.
Anyway, anybody else? Anything else?
I have one guy that asked me, like, I guess it's a serious note. He said that, like, where did where did your discipline come from? Like, what was your first step?
I think my first step was, I didn't know it at the time, but I told Gio this when me and him started working together, was I hear all these like multimillionaires and billionaires talking about things that I experienced at a young age, not knowing what it was, right? So I got my discipline through getting up and going to work every day. Whether I liked it or not, whether it was easy or it was hard, I got up every single day and I went to work. You know? And I think that was the start of it. I just didn't know what discipline was or how to acquire or what it is. And so that's what my discipline was, where I got it from. And I didn't know it at the time, but I really started learning about it when I did martial arts, specifically jiu-jitsu. What discipline is. Discipline is doing what you hate like you love it, regardless of how you feel. You get up every day and you do what got to be done. That's discipline. Doesn't matter if it's a rainy day, it's a sunny day, it's cold, it's hot, you feel good, you feel bad. You get up and you do what got to be done. That is discipline. And so if you can do that, that's the start of it. But you have to get up and you have to do something, at least something, whether it's little or big, you have to do it every day. That's discipline.
crazy. I think the biggest discipline for me when I've seen it in my life, when I've been able to be the most disciplined, is when you genuinely desire something, you will make it. You will make yourself disciplined for it. Mm-hmm. Your desire will drive you to be disciplined. It won't even feel like discipline because your desire for that outcome or for that achievement will just navigate you. But when it's a negotiable, when you kind of want it or it's nice to think that you'll have it, then the discipline won't be there because the desire is not there, the intention is not there, and therefore in the moments of pressure you'll crack because you really don't want it that bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with Gio. That's nice.
I got this. Now this one, I saw a documentary on this, and this is crazy. So pretty much it talked about like the human future society, and they believe that humans, we can genetically be modified so that we're no longer greedy, we're no longer violent, we're no longer what we are, which is beasts, right? Semi-beasts. But at the same time, it came with less freedom. Nobody has to work. Nobody has to do anything. Everything is provided for you. You're just roaming in the world. So the question is, would you rather live in a utopia where everyone's needs are met, but individual creativity and freedom are severely restricted, or in a chaotic world where freedom and innovation are limitless? You're free, but inequality and suffering are rampant. In this world, inequality and suffering is rampant, right? In America, not so much. But you go to India, a lot of broke, a lot of inequality. But you go to Mexico, a lot of inequality. So it's like, would you rather keep this world how it is in the way it's working, or eliminate all the bad things of this world that you believe to be bad? And then everybody's taken care of, but we no longer have the freedom we have now, right? The freedom to just roam around and do whatever. Because now the government or just something is keeping things in order. And every human is docile. Every human is not violent. Every human like just falls in line.
I mean, if we have that utopia, why would there be government?
That's a good question.
Well, let's just say humans just collectively came to this point and humans genetically modify themselves and we have this utopia.
Nah.
I don't think that would make us humans.
Yeah.
We're humans because look at us. We're humans. AI would be like, these humans. Because we have human tendencies. And what is our human tendencies? We have these, like greedy and all that stuff. So
I agree. I think that our flaws make human life better. They say like to enjoy the sun. Like to enjoy the sun, you gotta feel the rain.
Yeah.
I think
I enjoyed the sun this morning. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
But how much?
5 days of rain, bro. I saw the sun this morning. I'm like, bro, finally.
But how much do you appreciate the sun now after 4 days of rain?
Yeah, more than ever.
Damn, that's the lesson.
I think it's like that. You gotta take
God
the bad. With the good.
dang. Gio was splitting fire when I didn't realize he's spitting fire.
He's smart.
I'm a bunch of philosopher.
All right, guys. That's it, I guess. We're going to wrap it up, guys. I hope we goofed off a lot in this one. This is like the informal one. Okay, episode 27, Unfiltered. Thank you guys for staying to the end and watching. Ben, Gio, good having you on.
Thank you.
Nate Milliken, appreciate you. Milliken Creative, our podcast engineer. Thank you for everything. And guys, please let us know what you think in the comments, all right? Let us know what's your favorite part. The comments help more than anything. That's the comments and the likes and the subscriptions on YouTube help us get the podcast bigger, okay? And thanks for all that you do. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode of Sharpen Your Sword podcast. Peace out.